know the Potemkin motto, you have to guess right every time. We have to guess right once.
Truly a big character, and with a Kara Mega Fist forward to start things off for us here. Corner pressure already here at 92 seconds.
Yeah, using that early burst just to keep MAGICMAN into the corner there, but able to fight his way out. Mr. Squeakers still going in, not opting to be patient at all here. All right, there's the YRC. It gets baited out. We are going to get a wall break here. No, drops the combo. Potemkin is a super heavyweight character, so Ino has to adjust her combos, adjust the combos slightly to make sure she can make up for that.
It's true. Having the timing of the HCL being as high as possible for Potemkin will give her the OTD that needs for the damage and wall break. So looks like she was managed to get at that point, and so far with these combos, consistency's been pretty good. Already looking towards this next corner position to try and take this next round.
Yeah, we have it other side now. hereticMAGICMAN starting off really strong, putting Mr. Squeakers into the corner here, forcing him to try and fight his way out, but now we're going to get the wall break into super, gonna get the Oki. This can be a high-low mix-up or left-right even. Goes for the low option here.
Was looking for the burst there, but seeing as this is a little bit of sliver, Mr. Squeakers definitely just decides to hold it for there. All right, bursted back into him, and that's going to be game one for
that was an
MAGICMAN.
incredibly smart burst there from hereticMAGICMAN, keeping Potemkin in the corner and then immediately throwing out that HCL pressure. Even if he blocks it, that's going to lock him down and allow her. All she needed was one more touch to take it. So great decision making there at the end, man.
Right, and it seems that, like you were talking about earlier, as far as converting their combos for the heavyweight that Potemkin is, they've got it down on lock, so they're going to have a lot of extra meter after these wall breaks from seamless hits from the mid-screen, hopefully.
Yeah, that's one of Ino's strengths as a character, right? Is that she has really good corner carry, and she has more options at the wall than a lot of other characters in the game have. She can stick you to the wall, or she can break it and get really strong Okazeme afterwards at that mid screen.
It's true. The wall slump pressure we've seen from Happy Chaos as well. Ino gets a lot of mileage off of a character like Potemkin. Doesn't have a lot of wake-up options outside of meter, so unless the 50 tension is up, Ino can really run a wall slump game on them. But right now, they're kind of duking it out in the middle. Gonna get a pot buster for spinning the meter at a really smart time.
Just dead.
Just dead.
That's another thing to keep in mind is Ino is a very low health character. She's bottom 4 in terms of health, doesn't have a whole lot of guts modified, but she just kind of melts, especially against a character like Potemkin.
Yeah, but we can see here the explosive pressure that Ino can perform once you're in the corner, and there's not too much that Potemkin as a character, like I mentioned earlier, can do about it. But that was a really good flick. I like the patience for that.
And he mega fisted over the shooter, wasn't able to punish it, gets punished for himself. And shout out to Tubbleware for the subscription. We appreciate you so much. All right.
Okay. I'd love to see the HCL to kind of get out of Seismic Slam after that, just as like a little match of knowledge there. It's good stuff from hereticMAGICMAN.
Yeah, I mean, hereticMAGICMAN has really been controlling this neutral game all the way through. The Squeakers has had bits and pieces where he's able to fight back, but he needs to really navigate through this pressure a little bit better. I mean, look at this pressure. Talking about the triple overhead, going low, all these different options. Here's the wall break.
All right, Oxford double overhead gets to the Psycho Crusher there too, just to finish it out and get a wall stick here. Nice. That's game 2 going to hereticMAGICMAN with a perfect to close things out.
Yeah, and if you remember in last game, when in that exact same situation, MAGICMAN went for the low, so it makes sense that he would go for that double overhead again, and it worked out in his favor there in the end. So quick 2-0 there from hereticMAGICMAN. Mr. Squeakers, you know, Potemkin definitely, I feel like, struggles in this matchup.
Yes.
Because Ino is usually so airborne all the time, it's kind of difficult to hit her with, you know, it's difficult to hit her with a lot of Potemkin's things. A lot of his pop busters, a lot of his slide heads, ways to shut down her approach. He's going to have to lean more into 6Ps and the air command grabs, you know, different things like that to try and shut down this pressure from her.
Agreed. And right off the gate, we're back in the corner here. I really like, and it's like you said, the way that Ino kind of moves forward here with air dash as like her dash option, it beats a lot of options that more or less need to be called out. So he's using it really well. And we can see right here, he's getting the corner break very early into the round here.
And this time opts to go for landing into nothing. Went for a frame trap. I like that a lot, knowing that establishing already that I like to go high-low, trying to get Mr. Squeakers to press there. Yeah, and I mean, hereticMAGICMAN is just running this offense perfectly, not giving Mr. Squeakers the opportunity to get a chance to escape at all. And here we go with another wall break in the positive bonus.
Oh, Megafist getting out of the stroke situation, but that's going to be a big overhead. That will close it out. hereticMAGICMAN taking the first game of the night, and that is basically what we were talking about earlier, like stroke. Guilty Gear Stride. This is definitely going to be a fun matchup, too. We got a lot of opportunity to be muscling through a lot of neutral decisions here, so I'm excited to see how the mind games will evolve with spin and armor in play.
Yeah, you know, there's the joke that how you play Anji, you basically play him like Potemkin. You know, he uses armor to get in and also likes to grab a lot. That seems to be the Anji special, but oh my god, look at this damage.
Out of nowhere, this is just devastating damage. That was like 2 touched already, and he's already at 10% health here.
Yeah, it's a quick round. Honestly, I thought that that Babu was just going to RC straight into Heaven's Pop-Buster there before the wall broke.
Right, yeah.
I would have lost my mind. But alright, ubercheesecake starting off offense strong this time around. Ooh, a little air throw attempt there from Babu.
Okay, so it looks like Babushas definitely has an idea of what he wants to do during these Fujin situations. Nice. Okay, blocking the low. The armor eating after the follow-up. This is going to land him a nice counter hit. Get him, hopefully, this wall breaker, at least some corner pressure.
Yep. Able to hit him just high enough. Get the wall stick and the break there. Positive bonus here for Anji. That's a great position to be in.
Yeah.
Still sitting on 50 meters. That's all Potemkin needs. Spends it, though, on the YRC. Defensive option here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of defensive usage of meter lately, which is really funny seeing from these that they are defensive characters, so... Okay, Blue RC, hopefully to close the run, misses the Ko with a nice double jump from the
And sits on him. There's the burst. Does not want to get to it through the corner. Again, ubercheesecake is doing such a good job at avoiding these pop-busters, taking to the air. He's got to force Babu to really change up how he's trying to catch him. He's got to start trying to catch him jumping.
Agreed, and ubercheesecake looking like a different Anji player right there. Second round, definitely shifting gears, but getting put into a lot. Close last situation with Potemkin, which we all are definitely terrified of.
And there it is. There's the adjustment we'd like to see. Finally grabs Anji out of the sky. He's going to get the wall break for it, too. He's got to show ubercheesecake that he cannot just jump out for free like that. And there we go. Babu taking the game 1 here.
Yeah, we saw a lot of spinning and a lot of slide head that was just kind of clashing into each other. I wonder whether or not doing either changing your timings or perhaps now baiting it would be the better idea for like both players here too, right? Because like we were talking about earlier, the way that they kind of approach in neutral with armor and stuff is very, you can, by doing nothing, you are calling that out. So let's see what goes on here on game 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely want to see Babu lean a little bit more into that heat knuckle. It worked out really well for him at the end there because he tried to go for pop-busters so much in that first game. ubercheesecake was jumping out of it every single time. Even if he's able to block the heat knuckle, that's still a mix-up when he lands, and you get to keep that pressure going against Potemkin, which is valuable.
Very true, and there's a good use of bar slash there, kind of covering a couple of options on that round start to land him in corner position. Ooh, good throw as well.
Yeah, ubercheesecake is starting to become a little too predictable.
Yo, the Ko punish with heat knuckle? Oh my goodness.
The RC, drops the 6H link though, but gets the pop-buster anyway. That should be death. Yeah, breaks his back with the purple too.
Tap out for sure there. Explosive round from Babushas. Okay, opting for a 2P, which is a really, again, another way to hedge your bet against the spin and allow yourself an option afterwards.
Exactly, fast buttons are really effective against spin, and decides not to go for the pop buster combo. That is a true combo if you decide to pop buster after that. Alright, spinning through these slide heads, can't spin through all of them though.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep up with that move. It recovers just enough time to do it again.
Oh, the backwards Mega Fist with the counter hit, not able to confirm though, but trade in Potemkin's favor there. You do not want to try and trade against Garuda.
Babushas is doing such a good job just sticking onto ubercheesecake like glue here. Every chance he gets to get a close slash setup or threaten a Potemkin buster is like one step closer for him to closing out this set here.
Yeah, and he's finally doing a really good job at shutting down ubercheesecake's attempts to escape. like we said in that first game, Uber Cheesecake was escaping so much of that pressure, but Babu has made that adjustment and is just locking him down completely, and that's why we're seeing a clean 2-0 already so far.
Uber Cheesecake definitely popping out in some of these matchups. If he can get a good read and kind of roll with the momentum, that'd be really good. Oh, but very interesting gold burst. I like the idea. Getting meter early against a character like Potemkin really solidifies a sort of lead here.
And Babu is getting these point-blank Garudas too, which definitely puts the fear of God in you, because you'll be expecting at that range him to throw out another Garuda, but Babu is just not doing it. He's throwing out one Garuda and immediately just going forward with pressure.
And if it's not broke, definitely don't fix it. If you are on the first layer of the mix-up here, and it's getting you these rounds, no reason to not stop it. I really like the Hero Mega Fist combo there. Oh my goodness.
With the Papa, they're going to fast RC to break the wall, and that's it. Babu takes it. 3-0
showing us what Potemkin.
Pretty difficult for Potemkin, so.
Yeah, and it's no different here, folks. This game has made it intentful that Faust definitely be bullying him sometimes. Nice banana setup there. Totally gotta get in that corner.
Absolutely. Faust is a character which you're going to see a lot. He's very good at controlling neutral. He has incredibly big, long-reaching buttons and some good options to multi-hit too to hit the Potemkin's armor. But not only that, he's got that item cost. So random items that Potemkin has to react to. Speaking of reactions, that was a great reaction to the bomb bag with the flip here for not enough damage.
Oh, going for an S Scarecrow there to jump out of the Hammerfall. Very important to put that on the stack. I think the Scarecrow kind of risky. It's really great to put on the stack early to make them think about it. Nice 5-feet to challenge the flick, but a hammer, anti-air grab will definitely close out that round.
Yeah, and you see Ned is definitely used this match. You're going to see a lot from Lurry. Faust players want to lane out Potemkin. They want to play him as more of like a zoner. Of course, you don't want Potemkin to be close to you. That is the scariest place for him to be. And there's Ned with a burst to keep Lurry into the corner, keep that pressure going.
Yeah, because of Faust's jump guard here too, he has to be very particular in how he wants to jump, regardless of how JH really zones him out in this matchup. Trumpet on the table for both of them, using a Hammerfall to grab it. This is going to be some extended pressure.
Right, he's just trying to throw out these bomb bags and get himself out, but Ned is doing such a wonderful job of flicking them back. There's a bomb, but he's got to be careful. Doesn't even get the chance for it to explode. Ned takes the first game.
Ned looking very experienced in this matchup, and the RNG not being too bad for Lurry, but did get a lot of hammers in situations where hammer may not have been the choice. But that is the Faust wave, right? You just roll the slots in hopes to absolutely destroy the neutral with some good pulls, or maybe even extend it. Like, if he was closer for those hammers, that would have been a very interesting situation, especially since he has a command grab of his own.
Yeah, absolutely. Hammer is one of Faust's best up-close items. But in terms of against Potemkin, items like the Afro or Mini Faust are really good in this matchup. Especially the Afro, which just makes Potemkin's hurt box incredibly massive, allowing for crazy fuzzy mix-ups to come down.
Yeah, unfortunately with this matchup too for Faust, if he does pull a trumpet, it's super easy for Faust to, or for Potemkin to get in there and really like take it, since he has that armor moving forward move, Hammerfall.
Let's talk about that Ned just flicks the meteors there.
Yeah, and the crazy part, it didn't even look like the meteors were on top of his head, and he still ended up with the frames to do that.
Lurry is doing a good job of actually navigating these slide heads, but there's the classic BRC pop-ups. They're going to blow him up.
YRC to get back some pressure. That's a good way to use that meter. Faust not having the most amount of tools outside of PRC back super, but doing what he can. But round one is going to not enough damage on game two.
Yeah, if you didn't know otherwise, this would not look like the pro matchup for Potemkin here. That is just making it look really clean.
And it's true, the options that he is picking in this neutral is very huge. Going for a Potemkin buster after being super plus after FD'd Mega Fist.
Lurry absolutely had the version that was going to be of him. Here we go. He's going to throw out the item super, throwing out the entire toy box, but gets grabbed with a pop buster too. Oh, Ned right now.
Staring in the face of danger with all of the super items in front of him, he finds a gap to grab a Potemkin buster. Good stuff, not enough damage. Really picking his points, showing that he has an idea of this matchup very well.
I mean, that's what Potemkin players do, right? They sit in the lab and find all those spaces. Where can I mash out Pop Buster?
When is it finally my turn?
When can I just grab you and win the game?
Yeah, I mean, coming from characters who have very slow reversal buttons like that, that's what you have to do. That's what you're spending time in the lab for, getting out of these really awful situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I do feel like in this game, the matchup between Potemkin and Faust is not nearly as bad as it used to be, honestly. Faust had a lot more crazy items and tools in past games that would really lock down Potemkin. But obviously, Potemkin's much stronger here now, so he's got a much better time handling some of the wacky stuff that Faust can throw out.
Yeah. We've got the Faust color change, hopefully to gain the power-up that he needs here, going down 2-0. But Lurry starting his zoning game off good, using the hammer to block the otherwise really unsafe 6H throw. Not enough damage.
Yeah, like I was saying, you have to be careful when you're throwing out items at close range. Item toss is not safe. You have to confirm into it. If you're going to throw them out at that close, Potemkin can just counter hit you for massive damage.
Yeah, and also it's really tough to go for bonus items, even if you get hammer, which would otherwise be good, because of how Slidehead interacts with it.
There he is, using the 2P to get out of the pressure here. He's going to go ahead and grab him with a key knuckle, launch him across the screen here.
Yeah, not enough damage, doing a really good job shutting down most of Lurry's air options here early. Now, even if he picks it, oh my goodness, and just as I say that, Potemkin busted to stop the jumping.
And take the round 2 absolutely destroyed. And now Ned is sitting here on set point, trying to give us the free 3rd-0 of the night. I think people are trying to beat the record from last week.
They saw they're inspired here, Jump Around. We saw 2 situations there where he was able to recover and throw out another move. Really good stuff by Lurry to kind of scout out those options there. And now he's in a really good position with Mini Faust and Fro on the field.
Yeah, you see, when he had Mini Faust out on the field, that gave him a much safer time to be able to start throwing out the bomb bags, because Ned had to think about the Mini Faust approaching behind him.
And just the best empty jumps I've seen in a while from Not Enough Damage. Baits out the burst, gets the Potemkin Buster, closes out game 3 in a stylish fashion. You know, I feel Not Enough Damage might know how to play the Faust matchup a bit there.
Just maybe. But we are now, count it, everyone, we are...
I haven't seen this matchup in a minute. I would assume that these minions have a lot of just disgusting things to lock down in certain characters, and being as how... Thank you.
Alright, Hotashi already starting to fight back. Sorry. So, yeah, this matchup's going to be really interesting. Nagoriyuki, another big body character with kind of limited movement unless he's spending blood to move around, which is going to make it really interesting how Dadpool is going to use the minions to lock him down. If he can get the chance, though, because Hotashi just locks him down in the corner.
I don't think this will kill him, but it will get him close enough to where he can start some minion pressure. Nice meaty with the throw minion.
Yeah, Elysium Driver is a fairly low damage super, so Nagoriyuki being a chunky boy definitely loves to do it.
Yeah.
But Dadpool closing out that first game. Alright, Hotashi spending the burst to keep the corner, and Dadpool spending his right away to get out of it. You'll see burst used a lot in this way, either to escape the corner or keep someone locked down in it.
I like that, comboing into the Blood Fury so he can get this disgusting pressure going out. That should be the round if he can land it. Batter up and swing. Made it to round 3 of game 1 here. Both players showing really good control of their characters. Whiffing the DP round start. Okay.
Alright, 6H OGG just taking on so much of Dadpool's health here. There's the bite. It's party time now. Hotashi throwing out 3 clones in a row right into another bite, closing out this game with a wall break and a perfect.
Did you see how close he was to popping? Landing that command grip was really close to just popping there. That was a really good presence of mind from him to land that.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk a lot about the different styles of Nagoriyuki players. You have the cool and calm Nagoriyuki players who like to kind of play that zoning game, and you have some who really kind of go ham with their blood. Hotashi is definitely that more aggressive style of Nagoriyuki player. He's honestly, of course, one of the best aggressive Nagoriyuki players out there, and he's not afraid to get that blood absolutely pumping to the limit.
Yeah, and we see so many different Nagoriyuki styles of play. For example, last week we had Test Your Luck, who played a 3-cap limit, sort of like buttonsy kind of Nagoriyuki, and now we're seeing Hotashi's prime example of him just being this explosive, sort of patient, waiting for his opportunity to explode, but when he does, does a lot like we saw in the last game here, but back to the mid-screen here with these two characters.
Alright, trying to use the Beyblade to move past the minion. I like it. 5K, kill the minion.
Threading the meter with that JD getting a lot started here. Now he can really pop off with some blood utility here.
Yeah, I like the way that after he gets bite, he immediately wants to use 2 clones and put himself back to the level 2 blood, knowing that level 2 blood makes him almost a little bit better there.
Yeah. And Dadpool not slacking at all, really pulling it together here round 1.
Jacko's pressure with the minions out, especially in the corner, is absolutely insane. And there's the counter hit here. We're gonna get the RC and confirm and take the round here.
I love that backdash after seeing that neutral jump there. Definitely probably maybe going for like a throw bait, but Dadpool not biting right away.
Alright, here we go, trying to zone out with the minions and that JD fireball here. Definitely staying at a good enough range to try and avoid the 2H anti-air from Hotashi.
I really like the soccer games going on here by the Jacko, really just zoning them out in very strange ways that you can't really get a beat on, but opening time here for Hotashi.
Alright, finally Dadpool jabs out of the command grab fight, and Hotashi has popped here, but the bad burst! Oh, just far enough though, not to get hit by the first 2F. Alright, Dadpool is going to survive after this wall break. He will not get an OTG situation. They still have a chance.
Oh, running into the 2K to close it out with a Beyblade. There we go. Got one more round left in game 2 here. Dadpool really showing that he can't do this, but round start DP going into the roller coaster.
How many close slashes do you want in one combos? Yes, says Hotashi.
He's just at the brink of popping in the blood rage too. He still manages to maintain it.
And there's a counter hit 2H. Wrap it up. Put him in a body bag. That's it.
That's a super.
Didn't even need the super to finish him off. But decided to just do it for style.
Time to send him to Overture. It's over. Jacko and Overture, everybody. Pack it up.
Go back.
But we do have another game coming up here. Now, that's 2 characters there with metered resources to pay attention to. And you have to imagine that there's a lot going between these players' heads in terms of what resources they have while they're in neutral.
Yeah, Guilty Gear Strive definitely loves giving you an extra bar of resource to manage. You know, every single DLC character so far has
actually
to manage.
But it's cool. We saw a lot of interactions with her kicking around the minions and controlling the neutral in a very risk-free way.
Absolutely, but let's see if Hotashi can maybe send us to 4-3-0 straight tonight.
Definitely working on it, and a player of his caliber is capable. I like what Dadpool is doing here. Round start's got to be a huge issue here because of the amount of momentum that Nagoriyuki gets for laning that.
Goes for the low option here. Whenever Nagoriyuki is able to confirm into blood like that, you have to be incredibly careful for the instant NJH.
Not afraid to spend half of his life to just get a third of it and Chipp from his enemy. Closing out round 1 of the 3rd game. Hotashi looking to close this out here.
Yes, that's the point here. Counter hit Beyblade is a great way to start it off. That's already about 70% of your health gone. Pops the blood to get him. Oh, there's a fully charged dust. Oh my god.
No air super to close it out, but will he even need it? This is looking like Hotashi's game to take away. Blue RC jumps over the 5P.
Yeah, there you go. Hotashi had such a great life.
Even Potemkin with the command grab, he's not ready. But we will see.
Yeah, this is another interesting matchup. High fireball is going to be a lot stronger. This character's in a much better place after this matchup. And I feel like this matchup is really
it's a good little extension there too because he had the stomp and Babushas backdashing through thick and thin to land these bot busters. I really like how Babushas uses his movement. It's such a limited character with movement.
Beautiful whip punish there, straight into Ride the Light. Good carry through the wall, not quite. He was just at least one character like straight from breaking the wall with that, and Babu is gonna take the first round here.
Yeah, Babusha's looking really strong today. He's doing a lot of empty jumps to kind of close the gap against characters that have really good neutral, using his tools against the right option very well. Unfortunately caught a heavy fireball for that time, so that's gonna be on the stack for him after this wall play for sure.
Breaking the wall with the 6K to get a nice extra damage in there. There's the clean 6K counter hit. Look at that corner carry, just all the way to the wall.
All so incredibly +2. If he had bit for any throws, that was definitely huge damage. This was definitely sent through the wall, taking us to
incredibly clean conversion. Unfortunately, though, starting that combo with JK, making it scale just a little bit more, and Ride the Lightning doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
So he's able to take the round here.
FDing him out a little bit early, really trying not to get this inevitable wall push, but high with these mids and the pushback, pretty strong here. Nice anti-air 5P.
Wow, picking up with the 5K after anti-air 5P too.
Yeah.
Really impressive there.
I like what Sneedchungus is showing us here, and that's probably why we're at game 3 here. Nice throw, no fear. Low slash.
Look at this conversion all the way into the corner, breaking the wall with the dive there.
Oh, far slash. So much real estate as a round start because he didn't get the super. This is going to be an RC into the round there. Good stuff from Sneedchungus. Looking pretty good from Babushas, but that last round he got a little bit more hits that mattered a lot more during that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. There was the run-up throw you were talking about. My man ran full screen and threw Garuda impact. Can you
and stared in the face of a JH after a PRC and decided that throw was the good choice too, which amazing stuff there. Like, it's scary. You got this giant metal man who will throw you for half your health, and your best, one of your most powerful mix-ups is the fact that you can throw because of your really risk-free mids and stuff. So awesome stuff. I like what I'm seeing between these two players.
One thing I'm really liking from Chungus is he just has insane conversions here. Shout out to the giant metal man proxy himself.
Let's go. The giant metal subs. I love it.
Alright, Babu is starting to establish a lot of pressure here. Medical here, trying to go for the confirm into the second buster, forcing Chungus to burst. That is a really great round there for Babu. He was able to take first and take it really late in the game too. He's gonna take a while for it to go back.
Yeah. Oh, he's running into the slide heads.
Oh, my man pressed 2P on wake up and they traded.
Oh, nice anti-air. And that was huge because Babushas has been jumping a lot to try and get into his face a little bit. Good job to let him know that he can anti-air that stuff.
Alright, trying to jump over the fireballs to work his way out of the corner here. DPing through the 2-8.
JD to kind of get like a weird little mix-up here, but he doesn't bite. Opposite of FD.
These anti-air 5P, this is the 5K. He's jumping it. Confirmed. There's the Ride the Lightning through the wall. We're going to get some focus enemy and a positive bonus.
Oh! Side D on shot.
Run up. Back. Dust into RC.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. Simple as good. R slam.
Yeah, let's do a big bar slide here.
Cool. And he's catching these timings where he's running with slide head. He's getting so much mileage and knockdowns that he really needs. This is going to be huge damage.
Yeah, this is looking all Babu. He's doing a really good job at counter-poking highs.
Oh man, wall spot will close that one out. 2H just adds so much wall stun if you get hit by it.
Yeah, and Babu now tying this up 1-1. We only got 3-0s tonight. The dream has died now.
Yeah, well, I mean, when they're both fighting to the death like that, it's kind of hard to keep one person out of the wins there. And we got a tier 1 sub to Smigby from Cryptic Games. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it here. And look at these levels on these players, too. They know what they're doing. They've been playing, they've been grinding, eating the noobs and the floors. Showing us what they got. I like it.
No, but Sneedchungus is definitely doing a really good job controlling the neutral and confirming into a lot of high damage situations. But Babu is starting to turn around and starting to figure out what he needs to do, slowing down the pace, making Sneed play at his pace here. Is what I would be saying until he gets thrown into the corner here, the 2K2D.
It's a special kind of hell when you're playing a command grappler and then you get regular thrown, so you gotta go past that and let nice slide head through the armor. A lot of no-fear options this set too, which is really fun to see. Whip 2H, nice whip punch.
Pick up with, just a little too far away to pick up with the 5H. 5H, of course, sends your enemy going upwards. He doesn't put them in a jungle stick upwards. Usually OTG with it, but just a little too far away.
Nice presence. Yeah, did you see how he like beat the armor out? He was ready to throw out that 2-slash as like the armor breaker there. I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh, this will be a nice backdash confirmed with the gravity here. With nice, I like it.
Yeah, Kai does a really good job of moving your tempo zone. He has a lot of strings that will dash and hit multiple times.
Third at health, getting the burst here. Really wants to try and win this round here. Making an argument for himself. Oh, the style.
Well, he didn't want that. He absolutely did not want that.
Unfortunate. That was a huge throw for him to get here, too. He'll probably get one more chance here after he has to block this. So plus, whiffing the throw, Sneedchungus onto something here.
Yep, 2-1 so far. One thing I really like that I'm seeing from Sneed when he has Potemkin in the corner, he's using a lot of JH overheads. Sorry, not JH. He's using a lot of JD overheads, which is really interesting. You don't see that a lot too often with Kai players, but against a character like Potemkin, who's so large, it's working out. It's able to lock him down and let him do these 2-hit, 3-hit overhead mix-ups against Potemkin, which you don't see a lot from a character like Kai.
Yeah, especially when considering grab is such a good option in this game and how powerful Potemkin's grab and command grab is. If you're delaying and then presenting a chance for him to maybe bite with like the command grab or normal grab, that's exactly what you want as long as you're not getting grabbed, because you can just back that. He's gone back for a lot of his pressure.
Alright, and I like this change here. We're starting to see Babu throw out Flick a lot more neutral. He knows Sneedchungus loves fireballs, trying to shut that down, and it is working out in his favor.
Yeah, Babushas really muscling his way into the neutral now, showing that his character is able to do this, taking the risk now that he has the health lead.
Just needs to be a little patient. There he goes, spends the YRC, throwing out the Garuda here.
Nice block, going for a punish after that.
Sneedchungus is doing a really good job with his FDing here, though, to stay alive. He is in chip damage range, and there's the 5P to kick him out of the foot, punch him out of the foot.
Really good reaction there, too. That was a nice mix-up from Sneedchungus to throw it in there, but Babushas ready. Okay, chillin', really trying to sniff out that Dragon Punch. I don't blame him. This is definitely where he wants to get this round, so...
Oh, the Mega Fist backwards, trying to whip punish anything that Kai goes for here. Alright, Sneedchungus is starting to get a little... Like I was saying, he was starting to get a little too greedy with these run-up 6Hs, and Babu makes him pay for it and takes the burst, too.
Man, the adaption. That was crazy. It seemed like Sneedchungus kind of ran in a bunch, but Babushas had the answer. He just walked him into the corner after a couple neutral exchanges, but the sequence was just phenomenal, really. And this game 5, I'm excited to see what's going to happen now. They're going right into it. Like, what's the adaptation for both of them?
Yeah, they're both playing this matchup so incredibly well. I mean, it's just, the rounds are just going back and forth. When one character makes an adjustment, they take the whole round, and then the next one you see, they go, okay, well, here's my trap card. Yeah,
definitely. You can see how they're just playing with, like, no fear. It's very important, but very much a spectacle as well. Really good job with these Kara flamethrowers to get as much mileage out of this pressure as he can.
Yeah, he gets the burst early there from Sneedchungus, trying to burst out, but just a little too far away for him to do anything here.
Oh, a little bit. He's patient for a moment, but...
He dropped the Kara Potbuster. He was trying to confirm into it, instead got 6K.
And he's just like moonsliding at him with all these Kara specials he's doing.
Yeah, Potemkin playing at the high level is actually a very technical character here with all these Kara cancels.
Man, running out of FD. If he eats another flamethrower and he can't green shield that off, it's rough for him. The ozone layer's depleting. Please block. Oh no.
Kicked again. Yes, just pressing the 5P to stuff him. That's all he needed. Sneed getting a little too greedy and is now one round away from being sent to losers here.
Yeah, we're seeing the patience that Babushas is showing us too. Oh, getting hit, punished for the Mega Fist. I don't blame him. Blocking the heavy fireball, not fun.
See, they're using the JD double overhead here, but Babu's pushing his way out of the corner ever so slightly.
Fast RC to continue the pressure here. One hit, two.
And breaking through the wall. See, look, this is what we're talking about. Adaptation. Back and forth. We might be going to a final round here.
Making the jumps, run up, throw the Sacred Fire. This is game 3, or game 5, round 3. He's going crazy now. 2-2-H to break the armor.
getting a full conversion here, not quite able to get the wall break, but that's alright. Still maintaining the corner positioning, which is just as valuable. Delayed PRC after the dipper. More like scum dipper.
JD kind of stalling out his airtime. He can't close it up, but he doesn't want to bite too soon. He's very scared if you get locked into this situation with the Potemkin that's going on right now. Super.
Not gonna be trying to control again. Low damage.
Hey, what a way to close it out. 5K into jump. Like, maybe not death by 1,000 cuts, more like 10 now, but like, that character explodes under any circumstances against Nagoriyuki.
No, you see that sword that Nagoriyuki has, just think of it as a giant fly swatter. That's pretty much how this matchup goes.
Yeah, it's a great example of what we're going on, and you can see he's summoning more flies to maintain this pressure.
Oh, wow! Grabbing
Bro,
out
what
Fukio forward, Marvelo with the awareness to be ready for that.
He's got the eyes.
Bro,
And the wall break.
Sharingan already.
Absolutely, right off the bat too.
Alright, not able to confirm here, but try to go for a little mix-up, gets tossed into the corner from Young LZ.
You gotta be sweating as a Chipp player in that situation, but not if you're Marvelo swinging with the Fury. I want to get out of here. Kick time.
Yeah, 6K fast RC, the Chipp special here.
Yeah, and using the fast RC JD overhead is just really good use of meter there. One of the more powerful ways people are using that is either blue RC 50-50 in the mid screen or just to make a fast RC overhead like that. Really good stuff. Opens the.
Yep, Canadian burst there from Young LZ way up north, gets sent through the wall now.
But we're still in a really good situation here. You know, any hit could turn the tables for him, but PRC making it really hard to block for him.
Yeah, great conversion there with the reset into the command throw. Gonna RC, break the wall, and take the first game. Marvelo looking incredible right off the bat.
Yeah, lightning fast mix-ups, insane combo carry after any sort of hits. Looking really consistent there from Marvelo. Now, again, just like the Potemkin versus Chipp matchup, once he gets that hit though, it could change all really fast. But we did have an opportunity to see Young LZ try to get some stuff going on in after he landed a hit in neutral, but Marvelo does have these answers. He got out with a 5P earlier, got a throw on the Fukio forward, so let's see if he can maybe try and blow up those options later on in the set.
Yeah, Young LZ is definitely going to have to structure his pressure just a little bit differently than before because Marvelo is absolutely ready.
Nice block on that, gonna stomp his toes out, backed up just in case there was a burst. I don't blame him early into the round.
Yeah, Chipp is a character you see that definitely bursts early a lot. He doesn't have a whole lot of health to gamble with, so it's definitely a good early burst.
Nice 6 pieces. I already showed you I can block this. Now I'm gonna get some more damage for it. Uh-oh. Unfortunate though that he did spend that blood for that punish. Will he be able to close this round? He does have blood rage.
Alright, smart stuff from Marvelo to just hold down back
Ooh.
and weather the storm. Alright, YRC, get off me, trying to create a little bit of pressure. Marvelo taking the round here with the 5K.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of opportunities here where Marvelo has more meter over Nagoriyuki because he's going in a little bit much. It's really hard for Nagoriyuki to just kind of rush in like that a lot and trying to gain meter.
Yeah, and Marvelo starting off this round with a 6P. That very ballsy move to just try and get anything round start against Nagoriyuki when you're playing a character like Chipp.
Yeah. Oh my god, another throw after Clone Fukio. Oh no.
That's 2 for 2.
Punishes the backdash too after that. He is in his head. He's going in. This round. Look at all Marvelo.
Patience. Just holding down back after the wall break. You see, I like that. He holds down back to try and see what Young LZ is going to do because he's building meter no matter what. He has the positive bonus, so it makes sense to just hold down back and play reactively in that situation so you can just build up the meter to react with an RC or anything that you need. Great stuff here from Marvelo.
Yeah, we're really seeing a lot of high-level decisions going on here to try and just like make things as clean as possible with these kind of situations. Again, like high damage, low health is not great. And we're taking it to game 3 here. Let's see if Young LZ can land these crucial hits that he needs to continue on into these rounds.
Also, I love Young LZ's name. It's just run.
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 It's true. Alright, opting for a backdash off that wake up again too. Still thinking maybe about the throws earlier, but again, it's better to just do a backdash or like a neutral jump rather than just whipping throw backwards trying to touch it.
Yeah, all right, there's the Beam Burst from Young LG, but he's popping the floodgates here, and this should be death against the wall break. It absolutely is.
Oh,
Hits
so
him with
much
the
damage.
Uzumaki barrage, believe it.
Just unbelievable damage, truly, after that, because of the Blood Fury. But I like the combo that he goes to just kind of maintain the DPS from the Blood Fury.
But see, there's the whip punish. We talked about Marvelo, so good at whip punishing. Incredible jump block also.
Yeah, we can see Run kind of like whipping buttons to try and bait him to swing again, but Chipp in total control whether or not he wants to bite back or not.
Yeah, now we're seeing this round, Young LG is trying to play more. Too many social moves. He's popped a little bit too much this set, and he knows that he can't keep doing that, or else it's going to cost him.
Yeah, the way Marvelo's kind of backing up after he makes him block the palm strike is really powerful because he has to be the initiator after that. And good block using that setup too. Amazing stuff by Marvelo here. Looking to close this round out. One more hit after this wall break. Oh, it's overhead. So no, 5K.
We haven't seen an alpha blade all set yet from Marvelo. You have to look out for that.
This little shimmy of death he's doing, he knows he has the advantage, but he's choosing not to go in. But that 6K will close us out from here. 3-0 for Marvelo on the board, showing us excellent whiff punishing and stuff from Chipp. That's the game, right? You want to knock health bars with giant damage. You get a lot of counter hits. Giant men. For giant games.
Here we go, already off the bat, not enough damage, being forced to burst to stay alive. The Mega Fist backwards in the corner, a really great reversal option for Potemkin.
And Hotashi really going for the Blood Rage setup as much as he can so far in this setup, or in this tournament. It's been really interesting to watch this kind of play. Oh, unfortunately.
I really actually like that Hotashi is experimenting a lot here with the popping blood, you know? It makes sense. Once he goes out of Blood Rage, he has a full bar of blood to work with, which is suppress the offensive. So it definitely is an interesting way to play the character.
Yeah, it fits his playstyle really, really well, too. He plays a lot of characters, you know, Elfel, Eltnum. These characters have explosive potential to close out rounds, and because he has the patience to pick and choose those, like a character that allows him so much room to be explosive with Nagoriyuki's Blood Gauge, he's really bringing it to his full potential. I like how you're saying he's kind of exploring these new gameplay scenarios.
And you were talking about explosive rounds when he literally just did like a 70% damage combo to Potemkin to kill him.
I didn't get to finish. Yeah, I didn't even get to finish what I was saying. That character was already dead. The second most health character in the game. Unreal.
Yeah, Hotashi taking game one there pretty cleanly over Ned. Ned's gonna have to dig down. You see him going grr in the chat. He's starting. You don't like him. You don't like him when he's angry.
I've never seen Potemkin Blood Rage, but to be honest, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Marvelo. This Hotashi guy, I think he's got a future.
Perhaps. Oh no, the Beyblade over the slide head. Stay strong, not enough damage.
Alright, yeah, trying to use the slide head again to punish.
Nice.
Not quite fast enough though.
See Ned swinging back in a couple really good hits here. Blue RC very hard to deal with. Nice block though.
Yeah, but the whip punishes here with the 5H from Hotashi is not giving Ned any room to maneuver. There's the wall break with a 6H. Gonna get that positive bonus.
Ooh, committed to the...
Oh, wow, just neutral jumping. Saw Potemkin flying forward and said, I'm just gonna take these guys.
Yeah, he must have had some sort of beat on that menacing neutral advancement, but man, these rounds are going so fast, hard to keep up what's going on.
Yeah, there's
wall break here already. Yeah. Both characters being very slow and hard to wake up with, it shows like how much they get bullied once they do actually get knocked down.
Alright, the wake up throw here from Hotashi. That's a guilty gear player special. He's gonna RC and get the bite here. Blocks the burst. He's gonna break the wall. Not quite enough damage to kill. Not still alive here.
The exchange of meter earlier too, just doing everything he can to use his meter to maintain this advantage.
Great back dash there out of the 5H, but gets clipped by the 2H trying to go to the skies, and Hotashi is going to take game 2, 2-0 over Ned right now.
Yeah, not enough damage, not really able to get too much started there. He did land a really nice 6H earlier in the round, but because of the distance and the location that he hit it with first, it's hard to really get him any Okazeme going, which is something you need to do against Nagoriyuki if possible.
Absolutely. And yes, Blue Nago is Virgil.
Man, I mean, he basically has like a help splitter, right? When he's got JH Blood Fury, is pretty close.
I wish, I'm sure there's a mod out there that gives him white hair in Virgil's jacket.
True. That would make sense. Yeah, there's a lot of really good mods out there right now. Now, this is where not enough damage has to deep understand what's going on, maximize the potential.
Absolutely, he's only got one more chance here. He needs to build up some momentum, turn it into his favor. He's going to have to spend his burst early, though, not to get pushed into the corner, but Hotashi puts him in anyway.
Oh, no, and he missed the opportunity for a punish there, but that's okay. We're still chilling.
Yeah, he was able to bait the burst and batter swing with the home run slam.
Yeah, he's doing crazy amounts of damage after these blood rages, and getting a lot of reward for popping.
Yeah, it just allows him to absolutely go wild once he's out of blood rage with pressure.
And then just got into the punish, just great defense knowledge there.
Yeah, this is Evo level caliber. Hotashi is champion, you know. That's definitely not going to make it easy for anyone here. It's already getting a wall. Oh no, he drops the wall break, and now he's in the corner here.
Ooh! Party starter for Ned. Can he get it going? This is exactly where he wanted to be this whole time.
What? OTG faking out the Garuda into a podbuster.
Nice, and that's a wall splat into Mega Fist. Very good stuff from Ned. Has what it takes. He just needs to get where he needs to be in the corner.
Can you believe that round was lost just off of a missed wall break?
Unreal, right? And that's just how explosive Guilty Gear Strive can be. Gonna wall break again. Oh, no, that's a
the overhead. Doesn't go for the instant overhead this time, but gets the 2S, and it's gonna break the wall. Hotashi 3-0 over Ned.
And Blood Rage Hotashi, you know, that blade soaked in blood throughout this bracket. Seeing who will stand out on top, trying to continue on into these pools, but doing a little bit of swinging, a little bit of kicking. Nice spin into a block.
Yeah, it's something you're going to see. Anji is going to spin to try and get to those projectiles from high. It's a good way to approach. He needs to be careful, though, about the distance at which he uses them so he does not get punished in the recovery.
Probably a lot of mental stack here for the Anji player as well because of how fast these mid-range normals recover. He might not want to commit into punishes after spins everything. That's just something he'll have to keep in track of.
Such a high lively here. We are seeing after the fireball to get some pressure going, and there's the pickup to take the first round.
You could really see there him trying to bait the waters here just to see where exactly he likes to bite and what he likes to bite with. I like what Wafe is doing using this first round here. Going for a Twitter verified mix-up. 3 fans for the Mexican.
Alright, throwing out the heavy stun as the big projectile control the pace, using the flip kick to get over the spin.
And that would have spelled disaster if he got the overhead to come up. But this PRC going to take the burst from Sneedchungus. Corner now, mid-screen now for Wafe.
Wafe with a good conversion after the counter hit 2D. Gonna go ahead and throw butterfly Oki pays off for it.
Ooh, just missed the confirm. Man, and held it higher a little bit at the end there to close out that round. Already we're on a round 3, and this has been quite the fight.
Alright, using OTG butterfly here. Alright, counter hit food. No, punish food was not able to get a conversion. Gets the air throw though.
Caught the backdash, unable to confirm right away, but again, really weird situation there. He does get the knockdown.
There's the counter hit Fujin forcing Sneedchungus
2D! Did not know, honestly. 2D under heavy fireball? Very cool. I like that.
Flashbacks to Soul.
For real, man. Wafe looking like he doesn't even need a download game for this particular fight. We'll see. But, you know, like I said earlier, he does have like a little bit of a download phase, but he seems to have some sort of beat at the moment.
And we got the Wafe fans in the chat here.
Multiple Wafe fans.
I'm also a Wafe fan.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch. I love watching characters like this do the thing because you know they do not get a lot of exposure. So watching somebody who's put the time in is very fun to watch.
And yeah, Ned, this is Honest Drive. These are the two most honest characters in the game.
Guilty Gear Honesty. Oh my goodness.
6H, no conversion, though that could have absolutely been devastating.
Oh, he got a punish there for the twist. Nice. Good stuff to bait out that too. Will he get the burst? Not quite, but...
And the run up 2D under the fireball, I like that from Wafe. Not far enough to get the conversion, but here we go. He's going to convert to the PRC here. Pops the hold on to the corner.
Amazing interchange there between the two.
Oh, delayed overhead there, but here we go. Early on.
Crazy blocks right now for Wafe.
Honest mid tries to vapor thrust through the spin, excuse me, but it does not work out.
Tight, man, it's tight. Yeah, no, he definitely got the, he saw something wrong, went for DP, or maybe it was already buffered, man. It's really tough. Thank you for asking. Alright, there's that heavy fireball, gonna get more pressure going pushed into the corner. Oh, this is gonna be a big counter. He must burst out of that to keep up with this round. Will this hit? It's a little too far, but...
Oh yeah, that might have been definitely too far to get the conversion, but we're gonna get a wall break here from Sneedchungus breaking the wall with the fireball super, not quite enough to kill, but one hit away now.
Static on deck, that jump normal will close it out for him. Wafe trying to keep up with Sneedchungus' changes here. And we see Sneedchungus moving it a little bit more in the air here. Not too much afraid of that since spin is on the table. Jumping is not the worst idea to kind of like risk-free approach the neutrals.
Alright, trying to answer here with the 6E, but now Sneedchungus is pushing the corner, using that stun dipper for great effect at the RC, almost pushing coast to coast with that.
Choosing to just block it out, and we've got a lot of throw tech. They both know when it's throw time, and they're committing. You can tell these players really are feeling it.
Yes, Sneedchungus' boost is 6H, so incredibly powerful with time. He's getting great conversions, great mileage off that button.
Nice PRC to kind of hedge his bets against that situation that would have otherwise been dire. He's really trying to close this round, but he got the whip. This is the counter hit. Wafe yeets.
Wafe going to go into butterfly afterwards. There it is. Butterfly poke.
Oh, was he trying to bait it?
He absolutely was, but wasn't pulling back fast enough.
Oh, burst for himself too now. Throw, my goodness, Wafe, by the skin of the teeth. What a crazy nail biter of a game.
Empty jump throw. Shouts to Street Fighter.
Shout outs to where it all happened.
The empty jump throw.
Man, and it definitely looked like Wafe was kind of going for a jump bait on that burst, but maybe some sort of input error there. Either way, some pretty high octane matches. Both characters kind of just flying at each other and dodging left and right.
Absolutely, and I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell how close it is looking at the score. Wafe is up 2-0 over Sneedchungus, but it has absolutely not been free. They've been fighting tooth and nail every single round to get to this point.
Yeah, and as the set play develops, we'll see who can get the edge. Sneedchungus definitely needing to get it a little bit more into gear if he wants to continue on with this set, but Wafe a player that does improve as the set goes on.
Yeah, so it's dangerous to be in this kind of situation as Sneedchungus. Look at this conversion, forcing Sneed to burst early here.
Good mobility around the static. The less he gets static, the more he gets party around. So very important for him to just stay mobile like he's doing.
Oh, not able
nice
to
setup.
convert, though, unfortunately. There we go. Wafe taking this round at set point now.
Yeah, pretty convincing last round. Sneed's gonna have to switch things up right now if he wants to stay in it.
Absolutely. Again, trying to play this fireball game, throwing up 5Ks. Gets the counter hit 2D though, and he's gonna get a nice conversion to push to the corner.
Throw for your troubles. Will he take another? Oh no, he will not. He will tech.
But he does catch with a nice counter hit. JH. We're gonna get a wall break. Keep the shock state on him. We're gonna see a flip kick. No, just runs up 5K. That empty
nice
IV actually working out really well too.
Yeah, that netted him like 30% and a nice knockdown in the mid-screen. Now he's working for this corner. Sneedchungus just about to clutch out this victory. He's just got to stay a little bit more solid. Yeah, throw, definitely going to close it out here. RC, make it safe for the burst. Sneedchungus making an answer for himself right now.
And that is the second time we have seen him use that throw after the 6-10. Yeah, that is something that Wafe needs to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. Okay, we're just kind of running around here, hopefully to grab some hits from the douche. This fireball's gonna start getting things started for him. Nice conversion with the extra gravity from the static shock push. He's just really letting him have it this round. He's been put in the perfect situation to have pressure.
Alright, yep, there's 2P pressure going on here. With the heavy fireball to confirm and taking that game with a perfect, Sneedchungus finally putting up some points onto the board.
I love the option to 5K to break out of the guard break spin and let the fireball do the rest of the work for you. There's a lot of something you used to see a lot that Ino used to do in the Exert series when she had to be able to dash behind her note like that.
All right, we're going to get into our next game here. Of course, Wafe 2-1 so far over Sneedchungus.
But yeah, Sneedchungus definitely brawling it out, doing really good, changing up his approaches, not running into spin as much that last game, so hopefully he can keep it up here. Wafe, though, definitely keeping up with everything, maintaining the leads when possible.
All right, again, using that flip kick pressure to stay, plus when you're in the shock state, yeah, forcing Wafe to burst there. You do not want to get caught with a counter hit with that much risk built up.
Yeah, and even though he did burst, it did end up getting cashed out from that last corner combo. This is looking really bad for Wafe this round.
For sure, here we go. Absolutely just enough damage there, even if it is a bit of a low damage super, it works out.
Yeah, last time he didn't quite close it out from the fireball super, maybe making the adaptation to the right of the thunder is a lot more damage that he needs. Nice blocks. I really like the defensive choices Wafe is doing. He's doing IBFD, IB to get throws, all the good stuff that every character comes back with.
Great block and punish there from Sneedchungus with a close slash to H.
Yeah, it's really looking like Sneed is unlocking the gates here. He's just throwing his weapons into this fight and just coming out on top a lot of the time.
Yeah, and here we go. Immediately closing out the game. We are now tied 2-2. That game was all Sneedchungus. He absolutely turned it around perfectly.
Yeah, it was really important for him to kind of like not be too afraid from game one, where Wafe was definitely getting a lot of spins and getting a lot of good reads on throws and landing a lot of rewards. So Sneedchungus staying strong in his mindset to just kind of play his game against a character that otherwise is really good at defeating that.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to jump into our game 5 here between these two players.
It's kind of wild. We either get game 5s or first to 3s with 3-0s. You know what I'm saying? It's really
I know.
crazy.
We always get some absolutely crazy games going on here.
And Sneedchungus is doing a really good job on Fujin mix-ups this whole set. There's a couple times where he did get hit by it, but, you know, he's overall been reacting to it.
No, he's doing a really good job. Sneedchungus has made some great adjustments here now in this game.
Yeah. These throws, man, even though there were more throw techs than you're normally used to seeing, like, it's getting every one of these characters so much mileage because of the defensive options that they have. Ooh, into the 5D here. Big round from Sneedchungus looking to close it out here. Can Wafe retaliate? Pull the arc, anti-air missile, of course. We all know and love its use. Shades of Abel from Street Fighter 4. Close slash whiffing. He bites back on a plus button like that. Sure to happen. I really like the coverage from the heavy fireball there. Good stuff. Will this jump be the last one? No. First to get out of there and super not landing its mark. Very tough there. But Sneedchungus, 3 out of 5 games.
Of Ino exploding.
Yeah.
Let's hope that Smug Sensei doesn't end up one of those.
Now, Smug Sensei from last week showed that his mobility in the air, his in and out, trickery behavior is very potent, which is exactly what you need against Soul Baghdad. So, as long as he doesn't get hit by too many crazy moves, That's definitely very doable with a character like Eno. We're going to get started with this throw pressure here. JD whiff and the option select 2K to blow up the fact that it's very new, very powerful tech that has been developed, and the super will bring us to next stage.
Yeah, Breaking Wall gonna get that OTG here.
Great stuff by Smug Sensei.
Now, of course, we know how good of a player Mike Saptic is, so here we go. Great conversion. Run cancels, gonna push all the way to the corner, not going for the wall break.
The consistency from Mike Saptic's combos is exceptional. I really like seeing him just confirm all of these stray hits into huge damage.
Absolutely, one of the premier Soul players in North America here, but a cheeky little cross-up there from Smug Sensei. Not able to get too much off of it, though.
I do like the kind of walk afterwards, too. Maybe trying to get like a DP or a burst out of it. That's a really nice patience there. But PRC DP at the time slot is truly Apex shit. Good stuff to scout that out.
Apex Soul.
Apex Soul. PRC punishing shit with DP all day.
Yeah, and clean shimmy there from Mike Saptic, trying to go for a gold burst, but just whipping. This is Smug Sensei's chance now. That's a really tragic thing to mess up with.
Yeah, that's a big snowball heading towards Mike Saptic. He needs to block this out. Bar Slash definitely saving the day a little bit. Yo, both people near even meter, but he's gonna have to FD this out or he's gonna eat huge damage as I eat my words as soon as I say that. Like Zapted with the savage combos.
That is absolutely what counter hit 6S is going to do to you. It leads into insane damage for Soul Bad Guy.
In a bowl of words afterward, the 6S counter hit damage, but you know, I like Smug Sensei what he was doing in that. He was really capitalizing off of just any sort of like knockdown that he got, and he was getting pretty good mileage for it as well.
No, for sure. Smug Sensei just needs to play his game, turn it up. He can't allow Mike any chances to get anything going. You know is the type of character that wants to not let you play the game. Yeah.
Now, Mike Saptic's use of 6H, as punishable as a move it is, really, really good so far. Nailing her down into the corner whenever she extends too much.
Alright,
okay, goes for 60 though.
I like that though. He was just trying to get himself out of the corner, switch sides with the wake up DP and a side switch of his own here for Mike Saptic.
Have to burst that. He really wants this round too, so he's gonna get an RC combo here. It's a very strange mid string. I don't mind the like finish to not that, because wake up DP is a really big option to deal with.
Alright, here's some stroke pressure, trying to poke him out, fish for any kind of counter hit here.
Mike Saptic not biting against any of these JH counter attempts, so really saving himself a lot of headache not using that. This should be a wall split if he can get the HCL. Yes, they do. Good stuff by Smug Sensei, taking the first round on game 2.
Alright, and the around
Clash Wars.
But the stroke is going to beat it out there. And here we go, Blackie combo.
Nice backdash over the 2K2. Wasn't able to really throw out another button for that. And gonna eat this Night Raid Vortex for that.
Yeah, the way that Mike just slid right over Chemical Love with the Bandit revolver in the air was so slick. And look at this conversion.
Yeah, there's so many like exchanges of hurt boxes and hitboxes. Characters are just so slippery in this matchup. And if you can jump out of this, that's a big damage. Okay, PRC making it good.
Alright, Mike kind of feeling himself a little bit. You never see Soul players use Heavy Mob Cemetery. Ever.
Perhaps he was trying to scout out a setup that Smug Sensei had been doing earlier. Nice 2H. Have no fear against Sebastian, who will come out victorious. Nice, and another way to kind of head his death after the whip jumps.
Alright, yeah, Fortismo to break the wall. We're going to get a mix-up here. He's going to go overhead. He does, but it doesn't matter if Mike is willing to just wake up DP on you.
Yeah, missed the deep jump by just a little bit. This clean hit DP doing an insane amount of damage.
Just like that, we're almost tied up in health. One more exchange is going to do it here.
Yo, super jump throw after the PRC. Maintain a little bit more of a lead. Man, top of your noggin with the Bandit Ringer. First off the deck.
Oh, there's
100 meter for Saptic. Oh, goes for a S-stroke after the exchange of the Vorpals. What an insane exchange.
Yeah, S-stroke going right underneath Soul R/slash. That shows you how low profile it is, because not many things can go underneath his far slash.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to watch both these characters with these low-profile advancing moves just kind of squirm through all of these like crazy hitboxes in neutral.
And here we are, 1-1 now between both these players. So incredibly strong here.
Yeah, and this is like, for Ino's side on the offense here, they really have to either cautiously wait without walking themselves into the corner or get like a huge whiff punish from them or like force them to whiff with their mobility. So Smug Sensei's doing a good job here. Like I was saying, just kind of owning this 3-4 screen, making them scared with movement, and then getting hit by 6S. You know, Soul out here 6S.
You do be throwing it out sometimes. That's a clean 50% there, you know.
Yeah, it's tough out here. Soul has really great ways to kind of just occupy space. Very dangerously. So.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see a burst here from Smug. It is too much of an uphill climb to try and take this round out.
Yeah, unless he can get a burst out of him and 50% health, not worth it. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like these whiff punishes from Mike Sapphire. Otherwise, once he's there. Yeah, no, definitely.
And again, look at this damage. There's the clean hit DP. Somebody please delete that from the game.
It is ridiculous the amount of change that has gone from the last game to this one. Mike Sapphire really just running this game.
Yeah, blocking the burst and immediately closing it out with a perfect. That is an exclamation point on the end of that round.
Yeah, Mike Sapphire probably figured something out into that matchup going into there. He was just landing a lot more hits, it seems. Like, maybe the fact that he caught on to the kind of, like, movement that Smug Sensei was doing, because he managed to land a lot of counter hit 6S and stuff earlier into that game.
Yeah, and when you're playing a character like Ino, you cannot afford to be getting hit by things like that. You really need to, like, Smug really needs to pick very specifically where to press in this kind of pressure, and especially in places in neutral. You don't want to just be throwing out random buttons as Ino, because if you get clipped by those by those 6S's, you're going to explode for it. You just don't have the life to really gamble on those kind of interactions.
Smug's doing a good job landing these set play scenarios and then not overextending too, which is definitely how a lot of these Ino rounds will end up losing. But we're gonna see what goes on here. Back already to the corner for Smug Sensei.
Yeah, and you're seeing Mike playing in this jail range. He just wants to lock down Smug with the 6S gun flame pressure.
First to maintain the rest of this round, but that RRC is definitely going to land him a wall break here. Oh, not quite.
No, he went for the OTG instead. The backdash, meaty 6S to catch the wake up backdash for Smug there.
So incredibly active. Ooh, JD trading with the 5K. One of the only matchups that, you know, can't really afford to go for that Gatling, but manages to work it out anyway.
All right, Mike doing a really great job at landing and blocking there, but here we go. Smug Sensei finally turning it up a little bit.
Nice.
Backdash here.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good job scouting out some backdash. It's been a lot of reward. Oh, nice safe jump.
Definitely works out that time. Last time, Smug mistimed their safe jump and he exploded for it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because he was definitely not on the back foot at the beginning of the round, but after he got DP'd off, that was rough for the rest of that round. Nice, again, actually getting a little bit more off of him backdashing to 7.
Yeah,
Spaptic showing that he wants to, though. I wonder what will adapt after that.
Yeah, and remember last week, Mike Sapphire got second place in a barn burner with Pizzy, so he is definitely feeling himself now. He wants to win this game and move forward.
Yeah, first thing he did too, just started playing more after the stream also, so you know for a fact he's been working on whatever he needed to.
Right to that
great match.
And shouts to Signer for another gifted sub. He is out here. Too juicy.
Too juicy. Okay, flying from the top rope, starting with no pressure.
And another gifted sub from Signer. Thank you so much.
Signer for the not enough damage gift sub.
And there's the Fortismo to break the wall. One more mix-up can do it, and we might be going to 2.
Gonna be hard for Ino because of the 100-meter, but he might PRC to make the save. Now we're back to even. Throw for your troubles.
Gets caught landing and blocking.
Oh my goodness.
And Mike takes it, moving forward.
Duel 1.
Both rocking the red attire as well on the red background. Retina's being exploded today.
Absolutely. But here we go. Looks like our players are just going to play through it. Just going to go straight gentleman's agreement here.
That's the kind of play we like to see. We want to watch all these being played out. Great to see that they are willing to fight it out too. Gonna get a nice backdash confirm combo. Nice stuff.
Yeah, if he did not backdash, that 5H would not have launched high enough for that combo.
The way he's using 5K to stop side him right now looks so goofy. JD to close the round out. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Sneedchungus today really abusing JD and showing us his power.
Absolutely, and here's the knockdown here from Marvelo. Trying to run this Chipp game plan on him with the mix-up here.
Nice, and we jump into the low. Sneedchungus staying strong in his defense, believing.
All right, yeah, trying to use that Gamma Blade, get those plus frames to get that pressure going here. And look at this, Marvelo just gets a backdash, is forcing Sneedchungus to whip and capitalizing on it, pushing him in the corner with the wall break.
Nice dash up block for the punish too. This is definitely something that he needs to get started right now.
Oh, trying to catch him with that 6H. Oh no!
The exchange of meters was great, but he tried to whip punish that 2K with a DP a little too far.
Yeah, he bet too much on that. Again, these whip punishes from Marvelo is what I was talking about before we saw him play. He is so incredibly good at whip punishing and punishing that burst attempt there too. Yeah,
the movement from Marvelo, you could really see how he's trying. Oh my goodness. You could really see how he's trying to kind of just maintain this idea that I'm gonna run in, you have to stop me, and then just the whip punishes after really top level stuff.
Oh man, here we go, straight into super. Sneedchungus with a really ballsy read there. Tried to go for the DP, expecting Marvelo to try and air dash out of the corner, and he just died for it.
Yeah, for real. And that is like a good point to make though, that like because of this whiff punishing thing from a character like Kai, who is quick and solid in the neutral game, that's something for him to kind of adapt to now too. Now he's gonna have to use his eyes a little bit harder and kind of react to what exactly Marvelo is trying to plot when he's faking these sort of movements out of him.
Yeah, and we're seeing in this matchup in particular something we haven't seen really from Sneedchungus so far tonight. He's getting a lot more risky. He's taking very big risks, and they aren't really paying off in his favor. A lot of these DPs are just absolutely whipping, and he's getting caught for it every time.
He had a good idea in that PRC exchange to kind of like whip punish it, but definitely going for like a 2-slash of his own, or maybe even like a Diary Clat. That's like a safer way to land very respectable reward afterwards.
Here. All right,
you see the spacing.
Yeah, Marvelo is king of that kind of stuff here. Fully charged dust, good block there. Back to mid-screen, not for long though.
Oh, 6K stuffing out an option.
See the fast. No, we don't do the little cute run combo. We just go straight into it. We just hold the wall break.
Nice Sacred Fire toss. My goodness, 5K to keep him on.
Oh, clean overhead with the Rekka, and that's going to close that out.
Lurry to make it a little bit easier for him to burst, not on deck for Sneed, but Marvelo looking clean.
Oh, 6P'ing on the JD there, the flip kick with those plus frames because of the shock state.
I like how he's adapting the sushi mix-ups here. He's just either like letting it rock and taking a step back to try and like whiff punish, or he's just going crazy and flying all over the place with some cross zones.
And look at this staggered pressure with these K's and S's here from Marvelo. Jumping out of the pressure there from Sneed with like a clean counter hit JD into a full conversion here.
Jumping around here, keeping it safe. He knows that he wants to DP your super.
Oh,
Daijobu, bro. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're starting to see this now from Marvelo. He is calling out that Sneedchungus wants to run forward and press buttons, so he is catching him from the sky with that counter hit JD. It is such a fast button. If Sneed tries to run up with 2H, Marvelo can usually catch him trying to press that 2H. While it reaches very high up as an anti-air, it's incredibly slow compared to the buttons that Chipp has.
Agreed. So we got this game 3 from Marvelo. Can he keep it up? He's been getting away with a lot here too, just doing like super jump, wall run out of the corner with an alpha blade. That's something that is really hard for Chungus to kind of like deal with for a character like Kai.
All right, early burst here from Sneedchungus. He wants to get the momentum swinging into his favor before this game gets going too long.
Like we were talking about earlier, Sneed almost landed a situation to kind of win the round out, but Air Alpha Blade leaving the situation now. Counter hit from Marvelo. Can he break the wall? Which is a little too far, but lands it anyway.
Yeah, gets him with the Uzumaki Barrage. There we go. Got the BO.
Now it's time. Left to right.
Alright, he's just doing stagger pressure with these Rekkas. Marvelo's stagger pressure is so incredibly strong here. We're going to get a wall break, and that's death. Doesn't he
The gap windows he gives are just so intentful. Like, he's ready for these quick punches. This movement right here, you gotta be nerve-wracking as a character who has to kind of like swing into neutral.
Yeah, and Marvelo's been doing a really good job of forcing Sneed to burst early every single game. He hasn't really been able to get the baits out, but he's getting those bursts early, and that's what counts.
Yeah, being okay with just kind of like giving up a little bit damage here and there, and then eventually getting a burst like that, super important for a character like Chipp.
And Marvelo is one hit away from closing this out. He tries to get the... Wow, the shuriken didn't hit. I'm shocked there. The BRC.
Oh my goodness, the BRC gonna close it out. Cross under. Amazing stuff by Marvelo. The power of hitbox and the ninja.
And
very powerful combination.
What you saw.
Why they deserve to move on the winner sides here. Oh,
And
big
immediately
6H.
counter hit.
Yeah, and we've seen Saptic go for these 6Hs like round start around like those times, and he's just been killing it, getting a lot of reward for it. But as soon as I say that, Hotashi now putting him on the back foot.
Oh, the burst bait there from Hotashi with the 2H. Not able to get too much of a conversion off of it. Mike fighting his way out.
Oh man, tip of the far slash. Hope are just even here too.
Oh, trying to call out with the DP, not working out in his favor though. Hotashi holding on to the meter, wants to get the BRC.
Wow. I really like Hotashi's use of BRC to kind of just open up his opponents and then react to how they react to a series situation. Really fits his playstyle very well. Oh, this is the bar slash confirmed, unfortunately.
Oh man, there's the wall break with the 6H. So much damage, bleeding him dry here.
Nice punish with the 5K. He's going to get concerned for meter. Has to be careful of the meter. Man, and the coverage.
Yeah, Hotashi's so clean at using his PRCs to get the punishes when he needs them, exactly. But the clean hit DP is going to wall splat. Gonna break the wall with the 5H. Not quite enough meter to get a super, but he's got this positive bonus now. But there's the air throw.
And he kept the stack. He remembered last time he did a BRC setup like that, Saptic went to the air and ate a delayed 2H for it. But now he's skipping the middleman and just going for an air throw, showing him that. Really fast adaptation from Hotashi to seal game 1. Saptic gonna have to think of how he wants to deal with that coming into the future here now that the stack has already begun.
Yeah, absolutely so incredibly clean there, but we've seen Mike in this kind of situation before. He's playing incredibly well. He just needs to get those conversions and get the damage where it counts.
Yeah, man, and it's really great to see that even though, you know, Hotashi winning Evo and all that stuff, Mike Saptic showing that he can fight this right now. He's gonna start getting things off on the back foot here.
Alright, trying to get out of the corner in the 2H. Yeah, Mike had to burst there. That was going to hurt so much.
Yeah, the damage from the triple anti is insane.
It's gonna hurt too. Doesn't spend the meter, and doesn't have meter. My bad, looking at the wrong bar of super here. Oh, the gap. Oh, bro, that is such a difficult situation when you block 2H in the air and you fall to the ground. It is a mix-up once he goes forward. You have to figure out whether or not he's going to press or try and throw you.
Ooh, caught him biting on the counter hit there. It's gonna be huge damage. Drops it.
Alright, just these 5Hs. Look at all this. Oh my god. The amount of chip damage coming out of that.
Man, I feel like the first time has just been super unfortunate for Mike Saptic. We're talking about the fast game, too.
Yeah, up 2-0, and I might have spoke a little too soon with the final round. Final game, final round stuff here.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show that these characters really just put the damage on the table, the leading health bars left and right.
Yeah, Hotashi is very moist right now.
It's true. Most moist Hotashi, containing the moisture, depleting the health bars.
He is hitting these sweaty combos, and I mean that in the most loving way.
No, for sure. I mean, that 2H into 2H into 2H, that was sick. I love that.
Isn't it funny how we get hype over just the same button multiple times? Because it's so crazy.
It's funny. Like before, it was like these crazy like frame perfect combos with the delayed fireball, but now it's like, man, he hit that anti-air real nice. Let's go. But here we go. 5Ks to keep the gravity already working on a wall stun here. Chill.
Patience. I love when Hotashi just stands there menacingly because he is known to just go in so hard. When he stands there menacingly, it's so scary.
Yeah, you can tell that he's using his brain to try and figure out a way to stop the approach once he has the lead. Right into DP, gonna close it out.
And we are at set point now for Hotashi here.
Hotashi out for blood, no mercy as usual, looking to close out this game. Saptic fighting for his life. This character is breathing down his neck.
Oh, and this is going to do it here, possibly. He's got one good overhead. Doesn't even need it.
And he's sending them into losers round with the batter swing. Mike Saptic, Nago, when he swings, is right quite often. And once hereticMAGICMAN gets the right choice, and you see Yurikov cheering for 100. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, feel better, Tong. We all want Tong to feel better.
There's so much work. We're out here with the COVID, and we're still doing this in safe quarters environment for all y'all. So I'm excited to be here. And like we were talking about earlier, I'm sure Ino is not super excited to deal with these giant normals that stop her air approach. R slash, 2 slash, really good at spamming the areas she needs to get in.
Yeah, that's the thing. You see a lot. Ino is a character that struggles a lot against zoners because the way she approaches is through the air almost exclusively, besides her stroke. And Nago, he can zone. He can zone with the best of them.
He sure can. And 5K is also just an insane button to kind of low risk check the neutral that Ino tries to occupy.
And there's a wall break with Fortismo here. All right, hereticMAGICMAN getting things going. There's the throw, gets the OTG, and there we go, taking the round.
Yeah, really good idea to try to get that OTG, but for a better setup to close it out, because that was not going to kill. Chooses the patience, but he gets bite for it. No reward off of him spending the blood.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of stagger pressure here, using those specials to get in, but hereticMAGICMAN fighting their way out of the corner, only to be pushed right back in.
Really crucial throw. That's so smart. Instead of going for the damage, he wants his corner pressure because he knows he can bully Nagoriyuki in this situation. Can't bite too much, though. If he bites too much, this could be really bad for him. Nice throw.
Weathering the storm, blocking all those overheads and lows.
You got 100 meters to work with, too. This is speed of RC to super, but super is enough to close it out.
Yeah, chop him up.
Round 3, though, for game 1. Jram showing his first options for this set, and looking pretty good, you know. I think hereticMAGICMAN's got what it takes to close it out after that first round, too. So we just gotta see what the adjustments are coming into this next game.
Yeah, it's one of those matchups where we talk about some matchups where it feels like you have to play perfectly. And that's kind of how it feels. Ino needs to knock Nagoriyuki down and make sure that he doesn't have the opportunity to get his game running, because when Nagoriyuki is playing that game, it's very difficult for Ino to get out of it.
Of course, and when you have less health bar to make bets with, it's not really the gambling you want to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. For Nagoriyuki, health is a resource. For Ino, health is a luxury.
Yeah, and we saw it earlier. She lost about 50% of her health, even with FD. She's trying to block him out of the corner so she can get into a better situation.
All right, trying to go for a frame trap there with the bar slash.
Bar slash getting him an award here just so he can start his corner pressure. Empty low for the wall sweep.
Yep, gonna break it with Fortismo. Gonna get an open situation. Are we gonna go overhead this time? Yes, with the triple overhead there.
And he is running away with it this round. This is exactly what the Eno rounds look like in this sort of matchup. So hopefully we get to see more of these so we can continue to get these games on for this match.
Early 6B and is still able to get the 6H OTG.
Nice, I like the JD.
Alright, I like this change of hereticMAGICMAN. After going with the 5H there, oh my god, there's the command grab.
That was a round of reads for sure. Blocks the burst and then blocks up with the Megalomania. Oh my goodness.
I can't believe they gave her a command grab. You forget she has it. Legitimately.
Oh, dude, right? Like, why does she have Potbuster for meter? That's not okay, dude. I mean, unless you're played her, then it's fine, right?
And once the super flash happens, you just have to sit there and think, oh, that's it. I'm in danger.
I have not held up. It's
just like the moose in Canada. Do you mean the moose hiss or the emotional support?
Please don't tell me moose hiss. I'm already terrified of those things.
But alright guys, we're jumping into our game now. Looks like the connection is finally working. Here we go, rocking that disaster of passion.
We need the May power up.
Alright,
Man,
Jram, yeah, pressing that early lead up against hereticMAGICMAN, just harassing at this 2/ range, trying to get him to press anything. There's the counter hit.
And just like in the May matchup too, when Nagoriyuki has 2 out of 3 blocks, he can just smash 2/ and then it's up to you to make a crazy output. It's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, like they say, Nagoriyuki's never pressed 2/ one time, ever.
Nope, can't. It's like the Lay's Pringles, bro.
Trying to poke out with this 5H trade there in Eno's favor, letting her get some pressure going.
Here we go, nice moving here. Very tricky, very unrisky. Exactly what he needs.
PRC fakes out with the overhead and gets the throw.
Brave throw, empty low. Double HCL to break the wall. Ooh, that's a Beyblade and a half. Needed to burst speed once to secure this round, but full blood gauge on the deck for Jram. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just swatting her out of the sky. Like I said, that katana is a giant fly swatter against some of these characters. Against Chipp and against Eno.
Yeah, he scoped out a lot of that for that round. That's going to be a huge round for Jram there. And going into Game 4, Heretic's going to have to figure out what he can do, change what's going on in this matchup here.
Yeah, you know, unfortunate. You have to consider that maybe that downtime between the two games where the connection was messing up might have cooled off Heretic a little bit.
He did get that game too, so that is a great point. Staying tilt-proof is very important when it comes to these online situations where it's out of your control, man. If the thing does break down, you know, you still got to play your best afterwards. 5K, low crushing the 2K, landing a trade.
Here we go, throwing out Note for some Oki, getting the overhead here, gonna get the wall break too.
I like it. He's being really consistent on breaking the walls when it's his turn to do so, so he's not really dropping too much. Nice patience.
5H pressure going on here, and look at that, level 3 blood, but using the chemical love to beat out the 5H, incredibly scary situation, but great stuff from hereticMAGICMAN.
Oh my goodness, and another command grab too, when he least expected. That's 2 for 2 on these command grabs that are going to close out another round.
Absolutely, one of, if not the highest damage super in the game, I believe.
Yeah, the scaling on it is also very good too.
Ooh, almost able to confirm with the Beyblade there, but here we go. It's the bite. Party time now.
Yeah, with 6K, very dangerous situation to be in. Nice. Almost got a conversion off of that too.
And another 6P. I like these changes here from Jram, shutting down any approach that hereticMAGICMAN has.
Yeah, and this situation is all Jram. He just has to swing and keep the pressure going in a safe position, but you know, Heretic not out of this yet. He really wants to close this round out here. He needs this game if he wants to continue on. Overhead for that. Really get the super.
Yep, hereticMO. Now you have to guess high level. What's it going to be?
And another throw. He's got an idea when he wants to throw a burst to get him out of there, though. And this is a very situation for him, but he takes it. Man, Game 4 going to hereticMAGICMAN really turned it up after that first round.
Absolutely. Bite of 87. Is that a Mogus?
What's that? Oh no,
Yeah,
no!
chat.
It's the other Amogus with the animatronics.
All right, gonna jump into our next game here. Final game too.
Final game between
I know
the
what
five
it is,
of them.
guys.
Good God. And the pot bonus though going up. Thank you everybody who donated towards that. Really appreciate it. We go 4-2/ang.
All right, a bursting on the third hit of the Flash Series, but wow, using the clone to go through for no opponent.
Man, and he definitely swung on that ACL and landed a huge counterfeit, but the throw putting him back on the corner.
Yeah, it goes low that time, and we've seen consistently through this that hereticMAGICMAN really enjoys going high on those mix-ups. So going low there to get the wall break, very, very smart. A counter hit, has enough here to throw to super, there it is!
That guard rate is truly disgusting. Good way to close out the round there, nice way.
Yep, and hereticMAGICMAN at set point now, bringing it back from life.
Yeah, we were looking at, he was down 2-1 after the internet outage happened, but he's really bringing it back now.
And you're seeing, I like the way that he's using Chemical Love to go over the 2S and trying to test 5-8.
Yeah, also if he's jumping back, it really puts him back down to the floor to open up another redash, or just to chill, maybe grab like a whip punish too. Good stuff from Heretic. Oh, flipped by the 2-slash. It's a big party started there. Strokes on the age.
Goes for the overhead option this time. Doesn't spend meter to break the wall though.
Ooh, and you see how he just walks there. He knows that command grab is on the stack, but just offers a jump slash there and closes out the round. Good stuff from hereticMAGICMAN. And again, this matchup, dashing Eno to get into. So if he can kind of maneuver around that, Smug Sensei could get out here with a W, but we'll see game one. Big whip punish on the flick. Go with that, and that's great that he does get the relauncher with the 5 pace. Tar Mega Fist really getting a lot of damage from the mid screen, otherwise he would not have. Oh man, in Potemkin Buster Rage, he does walk up and get a low 2K. Very interesting stuff here, and this should close it out.
Yep, gonna break the wall break. Get the wall break there with the super. Alright, early flick there from not enough damage.
Whipping on the back dash here, but he gets a nice 2-day counter hit. Corner pressure starts, but has to know Mega Fist back fast the HCL. Very great.
Yeah, that was an absolutely incredible interaction there. It's working out so much in Ned's favor.
Backing out of the JD a second time now. Not enough damage, has an idea of how he wants to deal with a lot of Eno pressure. Nice burst on the cycle pressure, good point.
Yep, there's the PRC Garuda, you have to hold that, goes to the low option afterwards. Counter hit, R slash.
Still winnable here for Smug Sensei. He's getting the ball rolling. One more hit into super. Gonna offer a positive bonus mix-up. I like that idea, but this real estate that he has with Potemkin, super scary. Any hit can do it, and Kara Mega Fist forward brings us to round 3.
That is the kind of situation where breaking the wall is not the best option. When you give Potemkin some room like that to maneuver, it can be a little scary.
It's true, and that's something that you have to consider with a character that has such good mix-up and the potential for wall slinging. Alright, he's gonna get for another mix-up here, going for the JH relaunch. That's a wall break for him. Positive bonus coming in. This is his round to win.
Yeah, all he needs is one more clean hit to take it, but Ned is the one who gets the clean hit this time, pushing all the way towards the other corner here.
Attempt with letting positive bonus build. Knowing that this is a harder matchup, but that low to the ground Psycho Crusher last second conversion leads him to game 1. Smug Sensei looking pretty good in the matchup right now, but not enough damage. Also doing really well, I think.
Yeah, and you saw that, how you were talking about that low to the ground Psycho Crusher. That worked out so well. It went just of the slide head, and even if he didn't catch it at the very end of the slide head, that Psycho Crusher hits multiple times, so it would have broken the armor. It was an incredibly smart choice, because if Ned was going to approach, if Ned chose to approach with Hammerfall, it would have beat that out too.
Yeah, and that's really good either matchup awareness or just a good decision in neutral to pick. But both these players showing that they have an idea of what they want to do in the neutral. Lots of slide heads on opportunities where Smug Sensei is kind of just chilling. So we'll see what's going on here. I like the air movement so far.
Great backdash there from Ned. Potemkin, of course, with the most backdash frames out of any character in the game, tied with, I believe, Goldlewis and Nagoriyuki.
A good 5P match right here to land a combo that he needs. Gonna leave him about a fourth of a health here. Gonna walk him into the corner here. And the flamethrower begins. We all know how terrifying this pressure can be. Once it gets started, decides to opt for an FD.
All right, and there with the Black Heat combo, he takes the round.
He's opting for this flick a couple times now at the round start. Smug Sensei landing a good 2-slash to get things started, but we're back to mid-range here.
Oh, misses on the JH there, so unfortunate. Smug Sensei gonna get some pressure going now. With the big damage counter hit.
Oh, the back, the bane of all wake-up decisions, another one.
Again, these Megafists, these backwards Megafists are placed so perfectly to get over these chemical love. Oh, sorry, these HDLs.
He was so close to it too. Like the last 3 Megafists did were just a fraction away from actually landing in the game. That should be a round with the J8 OTG.
Absolutely.
Decides to chill this time.
Yeah, again with the HCL stuff going on here.
Smug Sensei all day has been blowing up backdash as an option with 5 and 2K, and he's been getting so many situations that he's forced to that.
Oh, and such a cheeky little mix there, forcing Ned to burst so he doesn't get sent through the wall, but he's not able to escape the corner though and gets caught by Fortismo.
That was such a good backdash punishment too. Like, a little risky, but like, he knows when it's time to go for these punishes. And his backdash being so long as Potemkin, you have to be ready for that kind of stuff. Great situational awareness for Smug Sensei.
Yeah, Smug Sensei up 2-0 now over Ned. Ned's gonna have to dig deep to bring things back. He's looking kind of lost in some of these neutral situations.
Yeah, and it is like that too because of the defensive options that are available to Potemkin and his hurt box being so gigantic. Really puts him into a position where he has to make sure that he's blocking out, but he's like, under a lot of stress to deal with that sort of pressure where Eno is just kind of playing her game. We'll see if we can change it up here this next time.
Absolutely, for sure. And Ned is having trouble just locking down Smug Sensei too, which is really key in this matchup for Potemkin, Yeah,
definitely. Megafist back getting him so much in this matchup too. Gotta go for a little bit more meaty setups from Smug Sensei here to stop that.
All right, yeah, trying to use the 2P, 6K to get out of the corner, but Smug Sensei immediately confirming into Fortismo to get that positive bonus and break the wall.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of one-hit supers too. Just really good stuff from these guys. Baits the burst with a 236H stroke. Closing out.
Not only baited the burst, but blocked the YRC as well.
Unreal. You can really feel during these situations when it's time to go for these baits. And a crucial part of playing Nino with the in and out style. Nice. Megafist is way in, but gets punished for it.
And there's another block on the YRC, and not enough damage is at the end of his rope here. Smug Sensei with the super. One more mix-up is going to decide this match.
Is a Potemkin bustering some change of the way. If he can make it happen, 60 could get things started here. HCL leaving him with a fraction of health though.
Yeah, and see here, Smug not even... Exactly, Smug playing it really safe there with fast buttons and far-reaching specials. And Smug takes it 3-0 over Ned. Great stuff from Ned, though.
Yeah, explosive game for sure.
I can't remember, to be honest with you. But Eno versus Soul, we know how this goes. It is a very volatile matchup.
Yeah, and Eno must be correct a lot, and then a little bit more when dealing with the DP. So, hereticMAGICMAN got his work cut out for him today, but Mike's Taptic, we know the kind of demon he can be once he gets put into a situation Soul love. We're chilling, you know, again, back to what we were talking about earlier, doing nothing is huge in these kind of matchups.
Yeah, what you're going to see a lot here from Mike is he likes to put you into the corner and stay in that 6S range. He's going to throw out 6S and gunplay a lot. Wow.
That was a crazy standoff, to be honest. Saptic knows that he was like, I have to lead.
Yeah, but yeah, he's going to throw out a lot of those 6Ss and gun flames when he has you in the corner because he's fishing for that counter hit 6S or counter hit gun flame. Either one is going to allow him to confirm into Night Raid Vortex and just turn you into a Twitter clip.
For real, but hereticMAGIC, even though he did eat a Night Raid Vortex there, he's been doing HCL really good in this match to punish a lot of what Soul is doing, but Saptic getting a read on that, really rushing him down right now.
There it is with the counter hit 6S, like we've been talking about, breaks the wall, the clean hit DP, and sends him to the Shadow Realm.
It's true, Mike Saptic, no stranger to sending folks to the Shadow Realm with clean hit DP. Saptic combos all over the place from last week. I'm sure we're going to see a bunch more coming into this week.
All right, look, I know I talked about how this game is very well balanced. Clean hit DP is not.
Clean hit DP is what we like to call privilege. Not all characters are built the same, as you can see. That damage is ridiculous.
Soul, bad guy. He is a bad guy.
It's true, it's true.
He is the bad guy.
Anybody who does damage like that can't be a good person.
No.
Not happy. 2H. I love that. Like, what do you actually do when she's just smashing her guitar with that big red box, no blue boxes in it? Chill. It's really tough. Nice far slash for good stuff.
All right, the block on the DP. Here we go. Nice punish from hereticMAGICMAN. Big damage, too.
Opts to go for a setup 2 here instead of the wall break, which I like because he did not have the beater to break it earlier. Nice round from hereticMAGICMAN. Starting to catch up a little bit here on this loser.
All right, trying to go for that 2S at round start.
Ooh. Love that 6-speed.
Ooh, of course, we saw so much of this from Mike too. When he gets pushed back to the corner, he likes to dash over the opponent and float himself in the air with Bandit Bringer.
Yeah, last week he got a lot of mileage out of it, and this week he's also doing it. Kind of shades of like how Marvelo is using Alpha Blade to lead the corner as well, but just as good for this character to use. Oh, that lead on the jump, but PRC covering his option for his 16. Burst still on deck for Eno. Hero burst could happen, but not this one.
3 frames, baby. Wake up 5K.
Puff out here trying to re-jump against a character who's anti-air like that 6S. Oh my goodness, Saptic combos.
Alright, yep, Gunflame again. We might see a... Whoa, I was going to say we might see a 6S there, but he gets counter hit. Oh, there's the Bandit Bringer, keep the pressure going. Had to RC the Night Raid Vortex. Fully charged dust. The clash on the DP.
Honestly, that sequence of defense was insane by hereticMAGICMAN. I mean, he still managed to come out with a hit there. Finally dealing with the Bandit Bringer pretty well. Decides to not fight back.
Yeah, Bandit Bringer is still incredibly difficult to punish for some characters.
And not having access to a run makes it a little bit harder for Eno since her dash frame does have 11 frames of starting.
Oh my god, had to burst out of that to get the pressure swinging the other way.
Ooh, with the skin of his charge barely made that call with the double HCL, not enough to wall stick. Has to get the Bandit revolvers out, jumping in the neutral, trying to bait out an answer here. Can he close out this round?
Oh, uses the fast RC to go low and finally hits him with a third low with the stroke. And hereticMAGICMAN putting a point on the board now. 1-1, we have a match.
Yeah, we do. And again, this is a very explosive matchup. We saw back and forth in that game. Going into game 3 here, we got to see what they're going to do in the neutral to change stuff up. We saw Saptic being a lot more patient in the first game, but this round maybe a little bit less so. We'll see if we can go back to maybe a more aggressive playstyler.
Absolutely. I mean, like we say all the time, this is a very volatile matchup for Eno. She has to play incredibly patiently, incredibly smart. Soul can just make her explode any second here.
Patience dude is paying up there. She is blocking so many of these very fast moves, but as soon as I say that you gotta Night Raid Vortex those notes, and Saptic showing us exactly the reward you get. Corner pressure for him now.
Oh, looked like he was trying to bait out the YRC, but wasn't able to block it in time and gets hit with a counter hit. Big, meaty counter hit there.
Walk up. Okay.
Yeah, breaking the wall with the charge D.
And against a character, or against a player who's so good at blocking, you kind of got to give yourself gaps in your pressure to make them want to fight. So I see what hereticMAGICMAN is doing right now. That's good stuff. But that connect right now, dive kick to close it out though, very fast, hard to deal with. Now it's on the stack though. See if Saptic will try to scout it out later.
A round start counter hit 6S. Unfortunately, he drops that. That's the second time in a row he has dropped the 5K run cancel 5K conversion. It's just
oh my god. Sequence of reads here by hereticMAGICMAN, baiting out the DP and the burst. Working on his second win of the game, but clean hit DP matching things up really well.
Yeah, and OTGing with the close slash into gunplay to keep pressure going, but he allows hereticMAGICMAN to slip through the cracks, and he's going to suffer for that.
A really good conversion there. Knew that the gravity was about to wear out. Uses RC to regain a lot of it and push him into the corner. hereticMAGICMAN, game 2, lurking on his game set of the thing right now. Mike Saftig on 1 game.
You can't count Mike out, though. We know how good he is. And all he needs is a couple clean hits and strong conversions. I feel like that's really what he's lacking this set right now. He's dropping some of these combos, specifically that 5K run cancel combo, and that is just allowing hereticMAGICMAN to slip out, punish him for it, and turn the tide around. He needs to probably go for a little more consistent combo routes, and Envy in the chat pointed out really well, more 2S and 6H to get those punishments.
That's a really good point. 2/ since the buff has been doing a really good job stuffing actual air approaches too, because the horizontal hitbox has been dragged upwards. Nice.
All right.
Fafnir really catching these wake-up options that he's trying to just get himself out of here.
Yeah, Fafnir is one of Soul's strongest options for meaty pressure.
Very awesome combo with this air note to kind of get the partner started for their DPs out.
Keeping that burst safe, pushing into the corner with the JD, but again, hereticMAGICMAN not afraid to just press to fight their way out of these kind of situations.
Oh my god, the Pac-Man ass hitbox on top of his head, landing him a really crucial point here. Next hit's gonna do it, 6/ doing so much that round. Like you said earlier, man, like 2/ 6H doing real wonders for this round now. And he starts with another one too.
Oh, the shimmy there, but whiffs the DP. See, it's a lot of these situations that you don't normally see happen to Mike. He's just dropping some strange situations here.
Seriously, this is definitely like a weirder playstyle that we've seen, but I think that's just what comes with fighting Eno. She's in the air all the time. It's hard to land a really clean hit and then get your party started, but 2S counter slash is definitely really good to get that going.
And again, drops the combo there that could have closed it out, but it's alright. He only needs one more hit. hereticMAGICMAN sitting on 100 meter though.
Got no meter to deal with. He just emptied out his last options there. Air dashing for his life. Back dashes out the cross up YRC.
That was insane.
And he doesn't even something's awake, and he is transformed, taking game 2. This game 5 is gonna be crazy.
And shoutouts to FGC Mello for the subscription too, right at the end of that game.
Insane timing for an insane match. Oh my goodness, Saftig taking the weights off, it seems, a little bit on that last game. I gotta see what's gonna go on in this game. hereticMAGICMAN gotta be thinking about what he can do now.
Yeah, our game 5 here. Let's see if we can get this to a final round too.
Yeah, that would be really crazy to see. And, you know, these players are showing that they're capable of doing it. Upstart backdash this time instead of a DP. You know, they're really cycling out their options here. I like how he's been dealing with those too. He's going for very low risk, just air backdash out of the neutral, and that gives him a really good opportunity to get back to the neutral.
And now Mike is starting to feel himself with these DP placements. They're finally paying off for him. Getting out of the corner with that nice DP.
Scary it as it is, and you know that queen of safe jumps, you still have to challenge it when it's time to DP. Saftig knows when it's time, so that's a good knowledge performance from him.
Yeah, but breaking the wall with the FAP, you're going to get that positive bonus. And of course, remember, positive bonus not only gives you meter, it increases your defense and your damage.
Dang, nice anti-air, catching the jump S from Mike Saftig. This is the last leg he has for him. Gotta make an argument for yourself if you want to get this last game.
Yeah, but there's that counter hit 2S. Fafnir to keep in the corner.
There's jumping for his life. Really looking for an opportunity. JH catches it for him.
Trying to get a point blank vortex there. I wonder if
this dog with that black.
Wow. The counter hit from full screen too, with the wall stick. There we go. Wow, with the Tyrant Rave. Final game, final round.
Insanity here at TNS. Oh, explosive success.
And hereticMAGICMAN holding on. No, Mike whipping the burst.
The chaos. What a crazy round.
And it will not come back by the end of this game.
Knocking on the door for victory.
But Mike faked it out himself.
The game speaks for itself, Jobber. I can't. This is crazy.
All right, I like this patience for Mike. Just throwing out the gun flames, but run straight in. No fear.
No DP either. Chill with content. Just closing the game out naturally. Misses that.
And that risk is so high.
With 6P with the delayed bandit bringer. This is the time. JK. DP can close the game out. He has to be careful, but 5K.
With the 5K and Mike Saftic taking it, moving forward, sending hereticMAGICMAN home. But a great run.
I'm going with this tune.
Ooh, heavy
like
A.
that. Yeah. Oh, JP to get things started. They're swinging though. They want to get into this fight. DP's already.
Yep, Sneedchungus establishing early. He is not afraid to DP. That is important against a character like Eno.
Eno's on top of your character like that on the knockdown. There's no telling what's going through these players. So they just want to get out.
All right, 5P, just one little 5P to get out of there.
Yeah, that was a really good play 5P too. She was going for the repressure after baiting the DP, but that bait definitely landed her the round for this. Gonna first round going to Smug Sensei. Good stuff.
Fortismo.
Oh,
right.
Nice whiff block.
I like that air dash at the round start, but again, Sneedchungus not afraid to just throw out these DPs. He's gonna force Smug Sensei to make him stop.
Yeah, Smug Sensei out on the dock with his bait and tackle, really trying to bait up it's in season for sure, but right now, I like how he's doing it. He's not giving too much up, he's just making it all fairly DP safe. Very good stuff.
All right, yeah, Sneed getting his way out of the corner, very smooth with the air dash FD. There's 6K into throw. Again,
throw time for sure.
Another one?
Perhaps. Oh, my force slash.
I like that he was trying to bait out the throw attempt with the 6H, but here's the ride the lightning. Your safe jump was not timed well enough.
It's true. Ran out of bait at that time. That was a lot of fishing to go for that. And actually ended up paying for out to Sneed for just chilling. Uh-oh, as soon as I say that, they'll punish DP.
Dangerous place to burst to. We've seen so many times when stroke goes right underneath burst.
Nice 5K conversion. Presidents of Michael understand that that was the time to go for that extension, but too much blocks him to really land a throw though. Kind of tough with how much he has on that scooter.
Oh, but the counter hit far slash is going to allow a conversion, putting her into mid screen. And that should close out the round. Yep, with the RC and the JS.
And we were talking about that a lot earlier. We saw her jump over the low special movement. Shades of how that was dealing with Potemkin. Her normal movement has such good potential to jump over random special moves that they might not even be scouting out for. So really good opportunity for them to close out the round on that game, going to Smug Sensei.
I absolutely agree. You have to be careful with your low options against a character like Eno. She's the best character in the game at low crushing people.
You know how we like to see the low crushes, very hype moments out here. Nice air movement, but the 6P to really lock her down after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kai with arguably the best 6P in the game. There's the 5K 6H picks up for the combo here.
I like how he knew that combo was going to drop. He's just chilling. He's not going for too much else. He really wants to maintain and not let the snowball start for him. Good stuff. Clean round.
Perfect too, and I really love Sneed's use of 5K. His 5K pressure is just impeccable. It's picture perfect.
He's showing us a lot of sides to Kai that I haven't really been seeing too much of. The way he uses JG to stall his air movement, the way he's using these whip punishes and everything. Really good stuff.
No, Kai is an incredibly strong character now, and there's the DP. Knowing that they were in the shock state and that you can pick up with the DP after, if you DP them when they're in the shock state, you can pick up with close slash afterwards. That is great awareness there.
Yeah, Sneed really taking away that game, making it look all him that time. And to be honest, with a character like that, it's really easy to kind of stop the snowball for Smug Sensei if they're not necessarily right off of the round start or any of these random situations with dive kill.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Sneedchungus just... I saw it said in the chat, one of the nuttiest Kais. They really are playing so out of their mind here. The conversions are insane.
Yeah, you can feel that there's no fear with them. They want to do a certain thing. They have the read. They're going for it. And they're paying off for it, usually very often. So that's what's getting into these games.
And the way he's canceling his run forward just with the 6H, it's almost like he's sliding forward with the 6H. It's so smooth.
Yeah, a very demanding neutral tool against Eno. Because like we said earlier, it's going to cover stroke, it's going to cover the air dash.
2 heavy stun edges there for a frame trap?
Turned her into a power plant with that electricity all over the place. Game 2 looking like it's going towards Sneed, but this is exactly what we were talking about. The round start dictates really how this match is going to go. Is he going to bait this the burst? Not this time.
Yeah, but finally Smug is able to bait out that DP. That is something that Smug needs to do. He's just been allowing Sneed to DP out of a lot of this pressure for free.
Yeah, and it's a healthy balance between baiting the DP and just running your offense anyway. While Smug Sensei has been having really good reads on the DPs, he did lose a very crucial round earlier that cost him the game, so he's going to have to balance this a little bit differently going forward.
Okay, did you see that side switch though?
Yeah, I can't believe it, honestly. The way that the level these guys are playing right now is really crazy. They're both offensive is crazy right now.
Yeah, he PRC, air dash forward JS, and hit behind to send Smug Sensei back into the corner. That was mental.
For real, the improvisation or the calculation were both very impressive, whether it was either.
Alright, again, fishing with the 6S, but Smug Sensei fighting around it now.
Yeah, Smug Sensei's finding some good places to stroke you, so if he could just keep finding these patterns, it's going to be really good for him. Plus, dude, don't care, gonna DP.
And again, with the heavy stun edge, that is not real, but... Alright, good punish here from Smug Sensei. You have to close this out.
Trying to get game 3, break up the tie for Smug Sensei, wanting to claw his way back into a fight at winning this whole tournament. Sneed, though, played really good there, too. Perhaps maybe didn't vary his options as much once Smug got a little bit stroke happy, so that's probably just something to write down in the back of your head for later once going back to the neutral.
Yeah, and one thing that was key there was that finally Smug Sensei was starting to bait out the DPs and punish them heavily. That was a big game changer in that game. In the first game, we saw Sneed was just getting away with them for free and even comboing out of them or stealing his turn back.
Yeah, totally. And we can see, really good jump usage to get around these fireballs without committing too much. Really tough for Eno to do it without doing a big commitment that could be scouted out by Fox. So very good use of that.
Alright, yep, there's the stroke with a counter hit in Eno's favor here, pushing all the way into the corner. Fortismo for the plus frames. Tries to go low, but a great block from Sneed.
Yeah, Smug being relentless in this round, but Sneed being very patient, taking his options to bust out of the defense. He finally earned a mid-screen, but 2H. Oh my god, 2H.
Alright, and we are at set point now of 2 for Smug Sensei.
Yeah, Smug Sensei looking really clean. Definitely seeing improvement from last week, so it's a really fun fight to watch all together, though. I'm glad to be here to watch that. Nice cycle pressure to start the party off. Positive tone is very dangerous.
Yeah, but first is back on deck for Sneedchungus. You have to think that might be coming soon, but another wall break.
Wall-to-wall breaks with one of the cleanest air conversions I've seen in a minute.
Alright, finally the burst comes out. It's an uphill battle here, though, for Sneedchungus. Smug Sensei with the meter.
Oh no, this is JD. This is his chance. Quad back.
The counter hit trade.
Again. 2 bars of meter.
He's gonna spend it. Gets the wall break here. He's gonna drag it install to break the wall.
Couldn't get any more hype, chat.
way.
One more hit to send us into game 5 here.
No,
Oh my
you can't
god!
wake up into that. It's too active. He didn't know. Smug Sensei didn't know.
Dude, do you think Sneed knew? That was amazing punish from him, but it's jumping time. Smug is jumping at it and doing all the fire hits he can possibly do. Begging to open this bag up, and it's working out.
Alright, there's the plus frames. Gets the second overhead, gonna break the wall. Yet again, another uphill battle here for Sneedchungus.
Can Sneed do it again? Oh no, heavy stroke to close it out. Just enough BRC to close the insurance. What a game to finish it off with the perfect.
And that was kind of a checkmate situation when you're that high in the air and you're going to fall onto stroke. Burst, it's a really tight timing to burst.
It will be something we'll have to worry about eventually here.
Yeah, here we go. Moist Hotashi rocking the minty green Nagoriyuki up against Marvelo in the Strider colors.
Moist Hotashi maintaining the drip here in this corner. Unfortunately, the burst not as drippy as this pressure right now.
Alright, RC upwards to go for the overhead mix-up.
Okay, and back to that range, the special stare at you range. Both these players both known pretty well for doing stuff like that, powerful as the situation is.
Alright, RC up. Delay though there, not sure what he was going for. Hotashi does not have a burst.
Uh-oh.
And it might come back to bite him.
Oh, he's got this punish for sure. Nice.
Yep, unfortunately Hotashi was unable to get the setup with the Blood Rage in time.
Yeah, first time we've seen him biff the Rage, so hopefully he can make the adaptation for the next round here. Oh, big overhead, but a little too far to get the punish there.
Yeah, and you're seeing Marvelo is moving himself just outside of that 2S range, and when he sees the 2S come out, or there, he just tries to dash in and punish. That's what you're going to see a lot in this matchup. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, Chipp being a character that can minimize his risks that way while maintaining the rewards his character is capable of. It's a really strong way to do it. I like the wall slump decision. Forget the neutral. I can't wall break with super, so I'll just wall slump.
Yeah, and there's that punish too with the bar slash.
Yeah, this positive bonus is definitely worth it now that she has the beater and the screen advantage. But as soon as I say that, this damage is really stacking up. Yeah, still got 100 meter positive bonus to work with, so this is definitely still Marvelo's chance to win.
Yeah, BRC backwards. That's nice there, but Hotashi letting the blood die down a little bit.
A rare Marvelo bite first, and too much mix-up. Left, right, back and forth. JD to close it out.
Yeah, clean stuff from Marvelo, up 1 over Hotashi here.
Yeah, Hotashi being quite the demon himself, very powerful, and we all know what he's capable of in these anime games, but Marvelo, used to these kinds of crazy situations from Marvel, sort of the same vein of gameplay going on, so we're really seeing these high-level actions happening.
Yeah, and Marvelo, one thing Marvelo really needs to be careful about is his DPs. This is not a character that you want to be throwing out DPs against, because you will explode.
Yeah, especially because we know his consistency and the damage capability of this character is definitely something you need to be very particular about if you're going to go for a DP.
He goes for another cross-up. He's gone for that cross-up about 3 different times on knockdown. Hotashi finally snipping it out at the end and closing the round.
Yeah, it looks like he had a conversion for that too after the BRC time slow. Uh-oh.
Again, doing such a great job at punishing the whiff bar slash.
Yeah, even though it was a little slower that time to actually get the punish, he does get pressure, which is almost as good.
Yeah, look at this footsie space chip that Marvelo plays.
Yeah, and if you're looking back at this on the YouTube, this is a prime example of how fast characters want to be playing any type of game, really. Great example of how the whiff punish works with somebody with such a fast dash.
Yeah, and got the wall break and massive damage off of just a whiff punish.
There we go. This should close it out. Lots of hits and a wall break, even though it does not do too much damage. I was wrong. So much scaling. 19 hits.
Nagoriyuki is a thick boy.
And he's a thick boy. Lots of things going against Marvelo for that, but he still manages to get the round.
Alright, and there's the pressure. Okay, burst there from Marvelo.
Really good jump options there, too. Hey, yo.
He's consistently forcing Hotashi to burst in these cross-up JH situations.
Look how they're playing this 2-slash game. They both know what's going on. They're both smart enough to play around it, but they're choosing to do nothing. It's very interesting. Nice, doesn't get the second one, goes for a low instead. Very tricky to block.
And there's the wall break. Marvelo playing out of his mind right now, really just dominating this neutral game.
Yep, back to where he's comfortable with Punish City. 6P,
That gonna
super, too far.
He hit him with just the tip of 6P, so it was just too far away to convert. And
Yeah.
here we go. Here's the mix-up.
It is coming, the mixture.
I just want to point out, one thing. I don't think we have seen all night a single Alpha Blade in neutral from Marvelo.
Nope, I think I saw it once in pressure on Marvelo's first game, and then it got just guarded and not punished. So after that, did not see any more Alpha Blades.
Think about that. Consider that. He is not Alpha Blading with this character at all. He is just playing a clean footsies with punish game, and he is in winners finals.
Yeah, he's got that dash button and bar slash technique. What else could you really look for? Okay. Content with dealing with the foot stomps. Just block it. Just block it. Knows eventually it'll be his turn.
Yeah, and Hotashi trying to fish out for that counter hit. Uh-oh, he's in danger. Look at that wrist gauge. One touch and he will die.
This is it. He needs to get enough pressure or damage on him to let his wrist gauge kind of relax. Nice, nice. Fine time, getting the burst out of it. Probably wasn't ready for that. It looked a little bit bursted.
Yeah, great 6P there.
Chillin'.
Another wonderful 6P, but dashes right into the close slash. Hotashi gonna throw out the super, not even give Marvelo a chance to burst. Smart stuff there.
Yeah, that was great. We saw earlier Marvelo back to the wall. Then threw out a single 5P to try and take his turn, and that was it. Went back to blocking. That's really the kind of discipline you need when blocking at a character like this with a player behind piloting it.
And Marvelo is so patient on defense, too. But speaking of patience on defense, man just lets the DP rip. And finally, there's an Alpha Blade. Uses it to escape the corner. And we saw the first Alpha Blade in the set. Hotashi immediately just blocked it.
Yeah, that's the best part about being patient, too, that you do get the eventual payoff of a DP. And it's much harder to sniff it out. You haven't been doing it as much.
Wow, just hits him with the raw overhead on the Rekka. There's the wall stick with the JD. Another break.
So tough, but there's so much on the table that Chipp's allowed to do to you between command grab, overhead, lows, but super from the future, fortune telling his way, probably take another round for him here.
YRC, get off me. There's the command grab. First time we have seen that in this set.
A crucial round to get for him too. Game point for Marvelo. Hotashi begins his climb today, right now, if he wants to maintain winners.
Both players have similar resources. Burst is on deck. We might see another early burst from Hotashi, possibly. No, looks
Go
like he's
J2,
holding
can
on
he
to
buff
it.
or not? It's coming.
And Marvelo is just going ham now. He's got 50 meter on deck.
Big far slash. Got a lot of his meter back, but Daija. Oh my god!
It won't be enough to close it out, but he is going to get a hard knockdown off the super, and one more mix will decide it.
Hotashi has the ball for right now. Low slash is a really great way to get it started. Marvelo with burst, so if he can get it out of him, cannot.
5P to take it, Marvelo. Sending Hotashi down to losers. And he has a nice game. We saw this go down to the wire before.
A loser semi. Got one more losers match after this, and then a loser semi or losers final. So
Yep, and
got
first
a lot of
blood
games
from
left.
Mike.
Ooh, success again. This is going to be a crucial way to win the match. How are you going to deal with Soul 6?
Fully charged just early on, trying to establish that early, make them think about it.
Yeah, varying your defensive movement is really important against Soul. HCL beating Gunflame startup is a huge matchup indicator here.
Oh, the PRC after the stroke, but not able to convert into fully charged dust.
But we're flying around. Oh my goodness.
All right, no stroke that time. I like the restraint there from Smug. A lot of the times you'll see Enos will be very predictable with the way that they stroke, but Smug is willing to just give up the turn and see what you're going to do.
Yeah, and that's really good, especially against 3-frame 5-pick. Nice safe jump. ERC makes it safe, unfortunately, but you do have the tension going. Will you burst, though?
And he lost the burst with the
no,
punish.
bro.
All the
I
way up
cannot.
into space.
Amazing outplay there. He's gonna have to let that simmer a little bit and not let it get to him because and it looks like it hasn't. He's running it. Snowball time is now.
All right, yeah. Remember, Soul's run is so low to the ground. He can just sprint forward underneath HCL.
Oh, big throw. This will be it. Oh, I saw commentator's curse.
Yeah, shut up, man.
Ah, I'm ruining it, everything. Okay. Oh, back this is into the no. I really cursed it. Oh no. There we go. Blocking it out. Blocking it out. Nice dealing with that. Oh,
Yeah, PRC to get the punish and close out the game. Mike up 1-0.
Phew. Close one there, but that's what we like about Strive. Oh man, we saw one of those nail biters earlier, right? Sneed with the hair on his chinny chin coming in there.
Oh,
that was some good gaming going on too, man. These players want that dub.
It has been a night of nail biting matches.
Yeah, and it's true. That was a slightly unfortunate factor. We know Mike Saftig is very consistent, has stylish combos, so just a little bit of loser semi-stuff, maybe a little break here, but we'll see how this match unfolds for us.
Again, okay, Mike is really content to start off with these long-reaching buttons. He is fishing for these heavy counter hits, some of Soul's biggest damage counter hits.
And we see he used every bit of meter to push him out and land that 6 speed to get him back to mid speed. That's exactly what you need to do as against a character like Soul.
Again, fishing with this 6S, excuse me, but this time Smug able to whiff punish.
Yeah, the patience is really paying off for Mike Smug right now.
Alright, the run-up throw here.
Ouch, backdash.
Yeah, you gotta be careful in that situation. When you're predicting a throw to come out, sometimes you just want to backdash to get out of it, but players are starting to catch on to that and get really good ways of punishing it.
Yeah, if you don't have Fuzzy Jump in your arsenal as defensive tools, it makes you open up to a lot more counter hit damage, so I'm sure that Smug Sensei, he understands that, but maybe he's got to incorporate a little bit more in here. But he's dealing with this right now. He's ducking and diving under all these moves.
Yeah, you see the 2S going underneath the HDL, the RC
Ouch.
backwards to bait out the burst. A perfect there from Mike, going up 2-0 over Smug.
That was vicious. That was vicious from Mike Saftig.
Mike's hungry.
Yeah,
he wants a piece of Hotashi. He wants that run back.
I can feel the animosity in his play right now. He's not happy of being in this loser semis. He wants to be where he thinks he is. And honestly, the way he plays, like last time, he got second place with the last hint. So I'm sure he's hungry for something similar, if not better. Winning the whole thing would probably be great.
Mike reset the bracket against Izzy K last week.
Unreal. And also unreal that stroke hit behind her. Goodness gracious, what's going on?
Oh,
beats the 2-slap. That was a really clean backdash there. Even though it's risky, and we've seen a lot of punishes for it, and it landed 50% for that.
Alright, PRC's forward, but Smug Sensei with the awareness to press 2K, a fast button. Alright, we get a mix-up here. Goes for stroke.
Yeah, it's a meaty stroke after a super wall break, so not a bad option to go for there, but looking like one round for Smug, making his way downtown.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Risk gauge high. Fists abound.
Punish there on the 6S.
Oh,
Mike
big
again with the
DPs
DP.
all around, dude.
He DP'd again in the exact same situation. Are we gonna see a third one? I felt it in my bones.
For real, man. Yeah, she's so scary when she just flies at you and it's like 50-50 time.
Alright, JD, we're gonna get a conversion. Break the wall of Fortissimo.
Yes, great timing for the meter to show up for him. Hey, yo, he just ran at him?
You ever just wake up, run up, throw? What is happening right now?
He did first. If he bursted, I think he would have lost it. Oh my god. Forcing the situation with the dash up fireball super to take game 3? Smug Sensei in it.
I can't believe my man Mike just woke up and run up throw. That's godlike.
He ran so far. It's crazy, dude. He wants it, dude. He's like, yesterday, or last week he was playing really like patient and solid, more so than you see from Soul players. Now he wants it, dude. Forget it. Just run at him.
He literally woke up and said, "Bet, get over here."
It's violence time. Come here.
Yo, are you really a Soul player if you're not waking up and choosing violence? Let's be honest.
It's true. It's true. The character's built for violence. Look how buff he is. Got a life preserver on each shoulder.
Yeah, and there you see the 2S working out in Soul's favor in this matchup. A really great option.
Yeah, this is big party time. If he could flip that 6S right there. Oh my goodness. Baiting the burst?
And baits
can't
it
believe
again.
it.
That's going to close out this round.
Yeah, he had so much advantage there that it's so hard for him to like not just get all the same pressure. Oh my god. Stopper?
Dude.
Stopper?
Okay, he just escaped.
Jumped out by
Alright,
kick for sure,
punish
but
is
damn,
the
man.
dive kick.
What a crazy round.
Wow, and that disrespectful DP too. The man was already dead.
Yeah, for real. JD, even though he saw the just guard, not bad, not bad.
Alright, yep, there's the 6P from Eno. That is a pretty good button in this matchup too. With the shimmy and the counter hit.
Zafting in the corner right now is going crazy, dude.
I mean, he has the wiggle room to do it. He is at set point.
He's playing into the strength so well right now. The advantage is switching a throw. JS, okay.
Watch out. Yep, overhead low here.
Big super. That's exactly what Sensei needed. Good confirm off the JK. This is it.
Yep,
Turning point of the battle.
Oh
Dang,
my
he
god.
got that dash up.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot. That is a sprout you're seeing from a lot of Soul players recently. It does an insane amount of damage.
See with the very tip of JH getting started. He beat the Saptic special. The delayed standard bringer to leave the corner. Amazing.
Yeah. This thing keeps hitting so high, and there we go, Megalomania.
Is that gonna kill? Oh, not quite. Just a little bit left.
Yo, call Say Jam.
Oh, he gave it back to him. We thought the last game was Saptic going in. Smug since I really turned it up that game. I can't believe the gameplay we're seeing right now.
Eno wins.
Wow. Okay, we are going into our 5th game here. I mean, Smug Sensei turning it up. I thought for sure that Mike had it there.
Yeah, me too, man. Like, and that's the 3rd time we're seeing a table turner like that. Goodness, man.
I know. What an exciting top 8. I'm telling you guys all night, our top 8s at TNS, they're kind of spicy. They're kind of nice.
Kind of fun.
I don't got to tell you now because you're seeing it for yourself here.
Yup. The proof's in the pudding, y'all. Game 5. Starting the round out with a big counter hit. 6 last with this really sick 5K combo. We put like 4 in there to get the gravity where it needed to be. Good
Look at
stuff.
that. Over 50% off of 1 counter hit at round start. That's just a bad guy.
Just violence, bro, and he's about to do it again. He's got enough meter. He's gonna keep the corner with it here too. He doesn't even need it.
Yep,
He's up first, yeah.
I like that. Immediately going into super just to lock out first. That is something that, if some of you aren't aware about how Guilty Gear works, we cannot burst once the super flash happens, in a lot of cases for some in combos. So it's a good way to just lock out your opponent's burst and close out the round.
Oh, the 2H whip. Oh my god, he knows. He's got a beat on it. He knows that the Bandit Bringer is starting to cause troubles again. He's gonna go for it. Stroke. Finding the opening he needs. He's baiting though.
Alright, DPing out of the stroke, and RC drifting downwards to make sure he landed and fast enough to pick up the combo.
Very back and forth around, but it is about to go in Mike Saptic's favor. He got the burst. 6H is the last chance he's probably gonna get to win this out. He's the backdash! Are you kidding me?
Alright, Mike escaping here.
6P cannot time Tokiwo Tomare into the game-winning DP. Aftig, Demon Saptic playing
We're jumping into our losers finals. This run back, Mike versus Hotashi.
Bam! What a way to start it. 6H. Saptic really good at the round start 6Hs, knowing when it's time in. Especially against a character like Nagoriyuki who dominates the round starts and gets so much reward. You gotta be right, otherwise you're gonna start to round off really bad.
Yeah, and Mike is just exploding in offense, picking up these conversions, dealing so much damage here.
Yeah, even though he drops it though, he's still about to take this round just from the damage he done earlier, but this throw changing things up quite a bit for him. Wow!
Hotashi bursts, he wants this round.
That was like an Exert Roy DP. Oh my goodness, really good familiarity with the first hitboxes there.
And Mike Saptic not only taking the first round, but taking Hotoshi's DP right at the end there too. So valuable.
Yeah, definitely a huge resource. This is a battle of resources. Nagoriyuki using his health, his meter, and his blood meter is all very crucial.
Oh, have
PRC trades 5k air combo.
If he converted that into a full combo, I was gonna stream.
I was gonna leave my chair, bro. Oh my goodness, the amount of play going on right now. Backdash out of the bar slash of death.
There's the bite into the fast RC here. Chipp is a factor, and there it is.
Amazing. Yeah, this game 3 already as violent as the last one, but I like the back and forth now. Saptic really kind of feeling comfortable here.
This might be the most violent game already, and it's only been 2 rounds.
They're just doing so. There's no pause. They've foregone the nothing. It is time for action. Yup, PRC. I've done my something. I want more something.
Oh, 5K, just the toe tip. 5K, excuse me. All right, Mike backing off. He knows Hotoshi's sitting at level 3 blood, so he cannot use any specials to get in. Smart option. You have to look out for the burst. Hotoshi's going to want to have to burst in his next hit.
He wants to go in, but Hotashi put the stop sign. Big bar slash. Can he close it?
No,
Hero burst. He must. Standing with all of his power.
Golf clap. Mike able to put a point on the board, already doing better than the last time he fought Hotashi.
The amount of interactions in that game, that one game, was more than probably some of the sets we saw. They were going back and forth as soon as the frames let them.
No, both these guys, you can tell by the way that they're playing, they are hungry.
Yeah, they did the math. They know what time it is. They're getting the calories they need in these exchanges, and
this
it's
is rules
so
of
cool
nature.
to watch.
This is rules of nature right now.
It really is. Both Apex Predators in the brawler kind of archetype. You know what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of fighting and a lot of swinging.
Oh, the frame trap with the 5H and the patience too from Hotashi, catching Mike trying to slip out of the corner with the Bandit Revolver.
He's swinging. He wants to kind of put him in the corner here.
Yeah, comboing straight into clean hit DP, gets the OTG, but Hotashi backdashing out of the gunflame range.
Yeah, maintaining the spacing he needs to maintain this matchup is really powerful. I like how he's giving up a lot of these pressure situations for backdashes or steps back to maintain that spacing.
All right, Mike RCing there after the whiff throw, but he gets caught from the big 5H. Hotashi sitting in level 3 blood, too close to be able to escape that.
Yeah, we're seeing him kind of shy away from the blood rage mechanic and more doing a 3-stack, kind of like Test Your Luck did last week. So that's probably the maneuver right now for how Sapdig or Soul is playing.
All right, cross slash pressure. Wake up close clash. What a man.
Ooh, this is big damage. He's gonna get a knockdown with a bunch of blood back. Uses RC to extend it. Can he get a coast to coast? Yup.
No!
Oh, it's the super.
Who gets it with the raw Night Raid Vortex?
Oh. Will it hit?
Yeah, Mike drops a combo of his own and unfortunately pays for it, and we are now going to be at 1-1 these two players.
Hotashi seizing any opportunity he can to stay in it, looking for a chance to fight in winter or grand finals.
All right, now Mike's playing so incredibly well, but Hotashi's starting to make some good adjustments. This time, Hotashi didn't go in as crazy as he was before, which was allowing Mike to counter poke and get some big counter hit reversals there. Now he's starting to play a little bit more patiently, and it's starting to pay off in his favor here.
It's a really good point, because he was trying to go into the clutch or into the scramble a little bit too much, and though Nagoriyuki can be rewarded and get huge reward from that, it's better to just stay at the ranges he was playing, like you were saying. You know, the spacing that he's opting for instead of more pressure, that's really what's netting him a lot more victories here going on forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but we'll see if he keeps up with that sort of playstyle here. Nope, gonna low profile with Beyblade. I love it. And he's going in now. Maybe we'll see more of that blood rage he was talking about.
Yep, there's the Beyblade into 6H PRC forward, fully charged dust. Mike with a great blocking here.
Yeah, eyes awake at the wheel, blocking all sorts of overheads that we're not ready for. The presence of mind to fly over the Blood Rage?
And that's gonna be death.
Dang.
No, he drops the combo! Oh my god, not like this.
Commentator's curse in full effect since the last few games. I cannot believe the stuff that's going on right now. Uh-oh.
Alright, Beyblade again around start, backcatching on the GP there.
Success, big success. Max range whip punish, love it. Oh, he delivered it again with the jump, too strong.
Yeah, a deep counter hit JS there.
He's running the mids right now. Man, big anti-air.
Yeah, Hotashi is too clean with those 2 H's. He is shutting down the charged bandit bringer pressure. You just can't get it done.
Yeah, and we saw it. Saftig loves to do that delayed bandit bringer to leave the corner, but people are catching on and finding out new ways to deal with it. Of course, Hotashi maximizing as much damage as he could, showing us twice now what he can do.
Yeah, and that tragic drop there at the very end when Hotashi was in Blood Rage, like that, if he didn't drop that entire game could have gone completely differently. But now Hotashi is 2-1 over Mike Saftig.
Yeah, we've seen Saftig come from a down before, so I have no doubts that he can definitely pull it together and play just as good as he was here. But man, Hotashi, if you keep giving him stuff, he's going to run with it and not give you any chance to kind of adapt. That's just the kind of player he is.
Yeah, it looks like Mike is taking a second to collect himself right now. I don't blame him. I would be doing that too after that.
Definitely a mark of a wise player here. And I like to say this a lot too. I think that having good mental fortitude and strategy and being tilt-proof is just as important as grinding out your combos and matchups too. Actually opting for a Ramlethal switch-up, I don't blame him. This matchup is not fun for Nagoriyuki.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I kind of like this. This is going to be really interesting. But he gets first early here.
Very risky, but very good that it landed there. Nice backdash. Gonna just get his combo started right now. Swords for days.
Yep, already has over 50 meters. Just getting that positive bonus. Going to get even more here.
Nice pickup, OTG. So you might have 2 swords, but I only need 1.
Yep, there's the nice punish there. Oh, that's super in the game. RC's it.
Still managed to bait it out with the backwards Kukio. Good presence of mind from Hotashi. Grabs a grab.
And what a conversion off of a throw from Hotashi here. 6H, gonna close out that round. Hotashi sitting on set point now.
Stylish as it was clean. That was a very cool way to finish out the round. Rambo looking good though. If he can kind of warm up a little bit here, get another game going for Saftig, he could run away with this, but this damage is unreal, unforgiving even.
Oh, and there's the Blood Rage. Hotashi sitting on 50 meter. Don't get touched. Oh, he had to burst there.
He's Beyblading in. He's sitting on 2.5. Missed them. Oh my goodness.
The 5 pay.
It's party time. You have enough meter. Oh my god.
The toe tap and Hotashi sending Mike.
Absolutely, you know, and I love that kind of battle here.
And remember, guys, if you are betting on the entire set, including the reset.
Yep,
you are not just betting on this. So if you are betting for Hotashi to win, you are betting for him to win the entire tournament, not just the set.
And we're starting things off round 1. Looks like it's going to Hotashi. Going, hey, I gave it some thought. Here's what I got for you.
I got a perfect.
I got a perfect. I want you to take this into consideration.
And Marvelo. Hotashi already looking more clean than he was in their last set. Marvelo with the full risk gauge now.
Yep, can't have it. And I like that he still decided to run it, even with that the quarantine meter going crazy.
All right, the Gamma Blade, the lockdown in the corner.
Man, no way you whip punish 2K like that. That's an insane reaction.
Marvelo's the whip punish god.
Really out here. Good presence of mind to block. That button was already out and is hella active.
Is this going to hit? It does catch him, and he gets the 6H off of it too. Almost all of his health. There's the bite.
He gets to restart his pressure. Kukio back.
All right, great backdash there from Hotashi.
Just guard. RC to make it safe. It's party time for him. What? That 2-slash.
Oh no, runs right into the 2-slash and instinctively hits burst. You could not burst at that distance against Nagoriyuki.
Yeah, very fast-paced game again there. Let's see if they take any time to think about it, but I don't know. They both seem to want to keep fighting. Like, that was a very back-and-forth match.
Yep, so it looks like we're going to, immediately jump right into our next one.
Marvelo rocking the keyboard weapon. Very good weapon of choice for the avatar.
But all right, Marvelo's playing incredibly clean. He just needs to do what he was doing in that first set. You know, get his game plan going, get those whiff punishes. Like that, exactly is what we're talking about.
Yeah, once he gets meter, I would like to see him use it like he did that first set too. Assuming he doesn't get put on the back foot and have to use it to get out. Nice clash of 2D just to get out of that.
And there we go, Marvelo, like he was telling everyone in chat, if you see the Fukio forward, you can throw it.
Nice 5K trade, but it's hard to trade with no help like that. Does he recover?
No, he doesn't. That might actually be the round.
Got the 6H on the way down.
Nope.
Oh, not close enough. No corner.
Like catches him with the Beyblade though.
Base Beyblade, truly a menace to society. Great way to close that round. Big hit.
All right, there's the command throw, starting some pressure here.
Wow, just believe in throw. Nice stuff.
Yeah, no tick throws allowed, says Hotashi.
Okay, P confirm into a setup cross-up H, giving him a world of opportunity here to take out this round.
Yeah, and you see a lot from Marvelo. When he gets the knockdown, he runs the opponent into the corner while they're down before they wake up.
I like the respect from both characters who just chill, knowing that meter is on the table for both of them. The patience.
A hard burst bait, though, from Hotashi.
Oh, man. Okay, that's how let's go. Alpha Blade to make it a little bit more ambiguous.
And push to be blocking into the other corner.
This is it.
Blood Rage.
Huge interaction coming out here as JH.
Wow. That was a full screen 5H there. Just clipping Marvelo. And Hotashi is up 2-0 now over Marvelo, threatening a reset here.
I want to give a shout out to Trash Can Magic with the 10 to match Reno. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, rounding it up here. Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to more money for these players. Putting on a great show today. And Hotashi's like ready to go. He's winning now. He's really figured out what he needs to do. But Marvelo doing a good job going back to this whip punish game. Yeah,
all right, yeah.
Like whipping.
I mean, even Hotashi is starting to do really well, though, at these neutral situations. You saw he hit that 6P after whipping buttons. He's predicting what Marvelo wants to do to approach.
Yeah, he's saying, I know you want to whip punish me, so let me give you an opportunity when I'm more ready. Maybe I can come out on top. So, really interesting stuff here, how they're evolving this neutral.
Oh, just resetting into another triple slash series.
Yeah, when two players are this good and understand how good each other is, respect and nothing becomes such a big mix-up. So, good job going for the nothing and closing out that round for him. Fighting back on a position after the SS is super crucial, so letting it go to try and reset pressure is really hard to do.
Yeah, and there's the 6H to break the wall. Hotashi doing so much damage with this character.
Yeah, he can't take too many more neutral trades like that. He will definitely lose this round.
And the chip damage, too. Marvelo needs to start emptying.
Okay, there we go. Somebody gets started. Using the meter. Hopefully he can get a wall break here. Perfect. Is exactly what he needs. It's going to be a little bit rough in the neutral here, and he does have meter, but still doable for someone like Marvelo. The OTG.
Yeah, with the 5H2, and Hotashi's sitting on reset point now.
Marvelo's got to be feeling the pressure right now. He does not want to go this to a reset.
Oh, great conversion there. Push all the way to the corner. There's the bite. It's party time. Breaks the wall. This is it. We have
probably the death of Chipp. We've got
the wall break is going to be just enough to do it.
Oh, never mind the Chipp.
And there we go. 3-0 reset from Hotashi.
Just, he's ready. He said, I figured it out. Let's do it for real this time. Got a bracket reset.
If we got any Marvelo fans in chat, you got to give this man your energy because Hotashi is out for blood now. The reset has happened.
He's been sent into losers and a switch has flipped. We can see it in his gameplay now.
And remember, Marvelo sent Hotashi to losers 3-0.
Man,
So this is a reverse 3-0 now.
crazy story. I wonder what happens on this last game here. Maybe we can take it to a game 5, but Hotashi making a very strong argument for him game 1.
Marvelo fans, get the hands up in chat. Give this man your energy, the Spirit Bomb.
Show them your ninja way, Marvelo. Can you bring it back?
All right, starting to play this neutral game again with the cross-up JHs, but gets hit by the 2S5H.
Nice FD option to push him out back into the neutral he needs with the whip punish.
He's having a hard time getting in for these whip punishes. Hotashi is starting to place these buttons a little bit more. The backdash into a full conversion. My God, the health bar.
Giving him a moment of reprieve, whipping the command grab. It's these split windows that are really changing the matchup.
Wow, that pickup off a 5P anti-air.
Burst. Hero
Hotashi,
burst.
he's just standing there, menacingly.
A menacing round indeed. Hotashi's looking to reset the bracket. Oh, he already did. I'm sorry. We're out here. This is just such a fast game.
All right, there's the cross-up with the JH, putting Hotashi into the back, but another clean backdash there from Hotashi. There's the bite. It's hard time with the wake-up DP.
Yeah, not whipping it that time. Really trying to get back in there, and he's just doing huge damage in the mid-screen.
Oh man, there's the Blood Rage pop, and just goes for the throw this time.
Yo, whip, yo, slash it to throw. It's so painful.
Oh man, looks like Hotashi is going for an any % speed run now.
He's got the no-clip bugs in the corners. Really working for it, but we know Marvelo not unfamiliar with the pressure that comes from so high damaging characters like this, so I'm sure he's got a plan. Game 2 coming into this, hopefully he can start adjusting a little bit towards what Hotashi's been playing right now.
This is what I'm talking about, though. I said before, after Hotashi lost, he was immediately analyzing in his brain, what did I do wrong? How do I change this? How do I win this next run back? Hotashi is so analytical, and you can see it in the way he is playing now.
Mixing up his options, and you see Marvelo trying to jump out, but it's just putting him into more block situations that are really bad. Close slash doing a really good job blocking him back down to the earth.
All right, just trying to establish with this 5K stagger pressure here for Marvelo.
Both players blocking extreme overhead back and forth.
All right, the counter hit. JD blocking the burst.
God.
Dropping the combo and spending his meter.
This is rough. That was definitely a wall break into a round, but he's got to hold it higher.
He only needs to touch Hotashi one time, one conversion, but the same could be said for Hotashi.
Oh man, you can't take any more of these trays. They just do too much damage.
The 5P doesn't want to get bit.
Passing
2
off.
S into DP.
Oh wow. Check going crazy.
Marvelo's staying alive.
He's
Keep
punching his
yourself-
way.
Keep yourself alive. There's the wall break.
Oh, the good patience just to avoid the lawnmower of damage coming at him.
All right, another incredible throw from Hotashi. He is just on point with all these throws and this conversion too. RCs it to extend, but drops the bar slash at the very end to carry it all the way to the corner.
Just guarding for days. He's so used to
Oh
jumping.
my
blocking all
gosh.
this.
Hotashi's just guarding is out of this world right now. He is looking for that area where he can just guard into a throw.
That should be the round. Good stuff from Marvelo, keeping it competitive here, bringing us to game 3. His rushdown felt so much more direct and was hitting in points that earlier may not have been hitting as much. So honestly, this is a really good adaptation from Marvelo.
Absolutely, and what you're seeing a lot there from Hotashi's just blocking is in a lot of cases against characters like Chipp who have very safe buttons is you want to just block to keep them close enough so you can throw. Throws are 2 frames. It's your fastest punish. If you're able to just block and throw, that is so powerful to just turn the tide around and get your turn going.
Yeah, not to mention a lot of Nago's buttons are really minus me not canceling them. So if you manage to do a dash up just guard, you're increasing your opportunity for punishes, which every bit of health counts in this matchup.
All right, the trade there, not in either player's favor. All right, Hotashi is starting to get a little impatient, throwing out all these 2 S's, and Marvelo is capitalizing on it with the punishes.
It's like no one person has any advantage over the burst. They're just stealing each other's bursts back and right, and now super.
Combo!
What was that?
He's dead! He's dead!
Actually just died. What
My
are these called?
God.
On net play! On net play!
Bro, that's rollback, baby!
Let's go rollback and Hotashi. Crazy combo. Marvelo feeling this. Lots of game left. I like going for the damage there too. Chipp no health. It might as well get it, right? You're gonna get just guarded off without any mobility.
You're seeing there, Hotashi is throwing out the 2 S's to bait Marvelo to come in for the punish and throwing out the 6P. That is something he is being mindful of now.
Really next level play to understand the game to that level, just to kind of like bait him in these little mind games that are going down.
Oh, the patience again, just the standing there.
Yeah, any little bit of movement can get a person to bite, so they're doing a really good job with this ambiguous movement.
Is it a safe jump, or is it going to hit?
Oh,
It
still
does
landed.
hit.
Little curtsy, too much. Recovery was not enough.
All right, Fukio forward. Short one, though. Wow.
Dang. I didn't see anything. I didn't see
I'm
anything.
scream in my pillow.
Yeah, for real goodness. I didn't see anything.
What a burst bait. I love that short Fukio forward was all ready to bait the burst or bait any wake up option from Marvelo, but then he did a second short one just to say, oh, you didn't do it this time? Will you do it again?
Well, let's see if you bite if I do 2 Fukios for a bait. And that's what we're talking about. Any little bit of movement or twitch can set you off into a bite that could whiff or land you the round. So, just like that. Gonna start the things off really good with some corner pressure here.
All right, breaking the wall. Marvelo with the early life lead here, but, you know, it doesn't really matter that much when you're playing Chipp.
Yeah, if you hit him, you're gonna hit him. Good luck guessing the RPS after.
Look at, oh my god.
Yeah.
Just-
Content with just taking the respect off of // since he's not punishing.
Yeah, he was just holding on to that for so long, and finally he gets clipped by the DP, just throws out super, the 2H clash that gets the...
What a warrior, bro. Like, just in the face of adversity, swinging 2H against Hyperblade.
Hotashi is crazy,
That combo.
bro.
Yeah, that combo was crazy.
Oh, the 6H and the bait! Oh my
I
God.
can't.
One more interaction, Hotashi is going to take this. There's the throw!
RC fancy combo.
And that is it. Hotashi is your Tampa Never Sleeps champion for Guilty Gear Strive.